Hello, everybody. Welcome to a blockbuster year, 1985. Tonight, we are stomping around Tokyo. We are talking Godzilla, 1985. Let's pop in the tape. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Jay Ryan, we are back. Yeah, we kind of we were off a week and then on a week and then off a week again, but we are back. How are you, Jay Ryan?
It's going to be a problem tonight. Although, you know what, for the purposes of this movie, I'm guessing that you'll probably be addressing our guest Jay for the most part. This is one of those ones I sort of listened to more than watched. But yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to be back on a blockbuster year with you. I feel like the last one was, just truly a recap of our vacation, basically together, or whatever. We worked too, but yeah, it wasn't the show. So I'm excited that Jacob's back. Welcome back.
Yes.
We always say past and future guests.
Past and future guests, yes.
I'm sure you'll introduce these guys. I'm just coming in late, and I'm excited to see everybody.
Yeah, dude.
Well, as stated, past and future guest Jacob Walsh is here. Welcome back to the show, our Day of the Dead episode.
Yeah, right. Thanks for having me back on, man. This was great. And dude, I know it's the point of the show, but every time I see the bumper, I'm like, whoa. There's so many good movies in 85.
Yes. Yes, it's true.
I know you want to talk about other guests, but before we get into the show, can we compare stories with Jacob a little bit? Because while we were doing Goonies Day, he was doing Ghostbusters Day, and I want to nerd out a little fellow nerdery.
I do want to get to that, but let me introduce our other guest here. Below Jacob is a new guest. Jay Key. So if people don't know Jay Key, Jacob and Jay Key, they do their own show, YHS on Monster Island. So just like the Japanese government, I needed to call in some experts. All right. So these guys live and breathe kaiju and Godzilla. And I think I told you this, Jacob, but when I initially was like putting out the list to everybody, I was like, Jacob, pick a movie that you want to do, but know that when we get to Godzilla 1985, I want you and Jay Key on the episode. So part of the reason why we're doing it on a Thursday night, I needed my experts here to teach me about Godzilla, because to be honest, it's a bit of a blind spot for me. The whole kaiju Toho films, there's a heck of a lot of them, and we're gonna get into a lot of it tonight. But yes, Jay Ryan,
thank you for that confession, Brandon, because this is not my genre. So okay, cool, awesome.
But yeah, so as Jay Ryan was alluding to, the same weekend, and this happened last year at Goonies weekend, but the same weekend for our short circuit 40th anniversary in Astoria.
I think it'll be every year.
It'll be every year. It happens to be Ghostbusters Day. So Jacob and the YHS crew, they're up in New York City. They're hosting live streams for Ghostbusters and Sony Official. Awesome. They've got a live show that they were doing with Celeste O'Connor, who plays Lucky in Afterlife and Frozen Empire. So they're doing the Lord's work over there on the East Coast, representing Ghostbusters. And we were talking a little bit before we were rolling, but Jacob, how was all of that for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a fun time of year, first of all, to be, and I said this on our live stream, but I know both of you, I think everybody here will agree with me on this. I think like filming locations don't have enough like respect put on them. And anytime I visit one, I'm annoyed that there aren't more people, or there's not a bigger deal about the fact that it's like, well, I'm sitting in front of the Halloween house. Why isn't there a line of people? Yeah. But Ghostbusters, like, they keep the sign out year round. They have a big celebration at
and
the
they didn't
firehouse.
always though, right?
No, this is a new development.
It's fairly new. The last couple
by the way,
of years.
The firefighters always wanted to do it, but they weren't allowed to. The city
there's like city, city ordinance. But I mean, even before they had the sign up, they have a screen used Ghostbusters 2 sign inside the firehouse. And
oh yeah, I've seen pictures.
It's great.
Of that.
Yeah, it's just so fun being there for that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you in terms of the filming location thing. I am such a big filming location nut. We obviously spent the whole weekend in Astoria, which is Goonies, Short Circuit, Kindergarten Cop, Free Willy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, right? So we're all flipping out.
The best Ninja Turtles.
The best Ninja Turtles. We didn't hit a lot of Ninja Turtles locations, but I think we were talking about next year, like we're going to find the field or wherever where they built that big fort. We got to find it.
Yeah.
Well, you can go visit the waterfall. I know
to
that.
show how much Jacob is crazy about filming locations. We're in Vegas for Designer Con. He's helping me booth for Tokyo Toy Town for selling these designer vinyl toys of kaiju and stuff. And the convention we're stayed up in like the old part of Vegas, right? Like Fremont District and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And he's going around like literally positioning me like an inch this way, an inch that way, so I get the perfect shot to capture him in Leprechaun 27. I don't know. One of them there's in Vegas. And I'm just like,
it's part 3.
Part 3. He is very
again
very serious. Like, I mean, it was like, we were there for like 7 hours. It was great. But yeah.
I hope you went to the end of Fremont Street, which is the Plaza Hotel, which of course is.
That's where we stayed.
Well, that's where.
Okay, cool.
That's where we stayed, and I was like, "How come there's no signs up saying that this place was in Back to the Future?" I was like, "There's no portraits of Biff anywhere."
And it wasn't really right. Like it's really just
it's just like the shot.
It's more in it plays Bally's in Honeymoon in Vegas. If you ever saw that, it's a personal favorite of mine.
Wow.
So it plays Bally's, but it's the finale of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this podcast. No. Like, do you guys the Ghostbusters of it all? Like, my gosh, I grew up around there. Like when they were shooting that freaking movie, I remember all the billboards before anybody knew what it was. Everyone was like, "Is this a joke? Is this a movie? Is it a game? What the hell is this thing?" Because they put all the posters out before anybody saw a trailer or anything.
Yeah.
So like, I've been in this my whole freaking life. So when I hear, I remember when I found the Ghostbusters firehouse and I told all my friends about it and everything, and like nobody knew, but we were kids, right? Yeah. So when you guys say like, "Oh, they don't get enough appreciation," and I these days, my whole life being into all of the film locations, I see Facebook groups with fucking millions of followers and millions of reposts and everything else. Yeah. And I'm like, I've never in my life seen filming locations be this popular and be this respected and be this in demand. It used to be that you could own a famous house and like there's like a dozen people a month come by and take a picture. Nowadays it's Brandon, fucking
you're right actually, and it's the internet, it's YouTube's fault. It's because everybody wants to go and I mean, I'm sure you guys know about the state of the Nightmare on Elm Street house and the whole.
Yeah, I love that you're bringing that up. Keep talking about it. I'm going to pull up a picture.
Okay, cool. Day. Yeah, just saying, you actually are right. Like, and it's YouTube has probably made it where so many people want to go to the places and find. That's why it's like at this point, most of the places I'm looking for they're becoming more and more niche places. It's like I've already hit a lot of the big ones in my life, so now I'm like, all right, well, now what am I looking for?
Yeah.
So go on about the Nightmare. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say the reason we were off last week is because I was on a family vacation up in this beautiful mountain town in British Columbia called Nelson, and it's like from where I live, it's like 6+ hours up into the mountains and the trees. Beautiful, beautiful small town. But for me, I was so excited because it's the shooting location of 1987's Roxanne, starring Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah. And the whole time, my family I'm there with, my wife and my sister-in-law and my father-in-law, and they're all appreciating the beauty, and I'm so excited for the restaurants and all. But we're walking around downtown and I'm just like, yeah, check it out. So this is where Steve Martin, he's dropping off the letters and you can see this building in the background. And the building is like a historic like a heritage building. So it hasn't changed in 40 years since they shot the movie. And the whole trip, I'm just taking photos, getting everything as we're experiencing the things as a family. I'm like, yep, this is where Steve Martin was. This is where Steve Martin was.
There's been so many YHS trips where I'm like, Craig, we have to go here, and you have to take. He's like, why am I taking a picture of you in front of this apartment building? And I'm like, because it's where Andy Barclay from Child's Play lived. So shut up and take the picture, dude. You in your bumper, you had Silver Bullet is in there, and I've been to a bunch of those locations, and
where'd they shoot that?
It's in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Awesome. I'm coming.
Tons
through.
of stuff there.
Coming
Tons
through
of
on
stuff
the
in
next trip.
Wilmington.
Love it.
The bridge, right? Is the bridge still around?
It's
yeah.
just the bridge and the gazebo where they find the dead homeless man is. It's in this. They're like pretty close. It's just in a park. It's in like a public park. So you can the bridge, the house that one of the characters lives in. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is around. In Wilmington, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Wilmington. That's where the farmhouse for the original Ninja Turtles is. They filmed the Super Mario movie.
Yes.
There's a film museum there. Dawson's Creek. Like
I was going to say Dawson's Creek for my generation.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff in Wilmington.
Yeah.
What were you saying about the Elm Street house before? And then I'll pull.
Oh, it's just like I know in the last couple of years, the owners of the house have become, annoyed with the amount of people who maybe aren't as respectful as they should be, or coming onto the property and taking pictures. And last I saw, they have like put up a bunch of fake plants and stuff, and it's like you can't even see the house anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. And that's a tough one too, because it's in a tight neighborhood where the houses are like almost touching each other and there are no gates or fences or anything, right?
Yeah.
So like, anyway, a couple of years ago, everybody here knows I used to have a DeLorean time machine, right? Okay, no spoilers there, but like this is how accessible the damn house was. Like, oh, you just want to park in front?
See the whole thing.
Yeah, you just want to
look at
you just want to walk up to it, no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was exactly like the movie. And this was when a lady who was really, really nice owned it.
Yeah.
I cannot remember her name right now. She was a blonde, attractive lady, very artsy. And she's the one who bought it and like 15, 20 years ago and not restored. That's not the right word because she changed it dramatically, but remodeled it.
Yeah.
Because only the outside looks like Nightmare on Elm Street. Inside, it's the most futuristic looking weird place with round door.
They like modernized it. Yeah.
But they even like Beetlejuice. Exactly. Delia Dietz came in and she redid it.
Well, I know the newer owners, they painted the door, which annoyed a bunch of
it's
people.
Black now.
It's black now. And they just started putting up a bunch of stuff.
In all fairness, it was blue in the first two movies. Like I think it was red. It was only red later on in the sequels. Yeah. But I remember back in the day when somebody stole the numbers off of it, and my friend was like the head Nightmare on Elm Street guy, so he had replica numbers made or whatever for the owners. Yeah, I guess people have been disrespectful since the beginning of time, but like I do feel like all of these things have gotten more attention since the internet and social media.
Yeah. And I think that is the story of every location, is that there is always somebody who ruins it, right? There's always somebody who is disrespectful or pushes it too far. And then, I mean, there's a whole documentary on it. The House From. We
did the panel.
We were just in Astoria with Tommy Avalone, the director of that film.
Future guest.
Future guest. We'll get him on the show eventually. Just got to work with his schedule. But yeah, it's all about the homeowners who own these famous homes, and they tell their stories, and not all of them are good stories, right?
Yeah. Same with like the Exorcist house. They put a big fence up in front of that house, and it's hard to, if you happen to go and they have their like gate open, you can get a good shot or something. But
really,
big fence in front of that house.
The brick house apartment building thing. Really?
Yeah, the house that like it's right by the steps.
Yeah, exactly.
But with the steps are still identical and accessible and everything. But
that's still a public staircase, right?
Yeah. When we went to the Exorcist steps, which that was really high on my list, and we were just driving to New York, and I was like, well, we're stopping in Washington. We're gonna see these, and there was like people exercising up the steps. I'm like, all right, we'll wait for these exercisers.
Exercising
writes itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right,
Jay,
wasn't that a joke? Wasn't that a joke in the John Ritter? Like, Stay Tuned. Wasn't there an exerciser?
I don't know.
I've only seen that movie once. Yeah, I just remember the Dwayne's World.
Yeah, I just swear like she like does her head spins around in like her workout attire.
Oh, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, sounds familiar. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I didn't come up with that joke then. Okay.
You didn't really see it. You just saw the movie.
He was there live though. He was there. He saw it.
Allegedly
it happened.
We have no proof.
Jay, are you into movie locations at all too, or?
It's not
as
at the
much.
top of the top of my list. I obviously appreciate it, and when we get into like, you know, obviously like Godzilla and kaiju locations in Japan that we've seen or going to, yes, but it's not one that it's not usually. I think a lot of it just has to do with a lot of the films that I usually gravitate to. Either the locations aren't real or
Right.
they're not really in like those. I mean, I feel, and this is maybe it's because I talk to Jacob so much, but I just feel like the horror genre, far as like locations, it just seems like there are so many out there that are easily accessible. And I've always feel like that's a large part of it. But, you know, I don't, it's hard for me to get to whether it's, you know, the swing set at Ikaru or whatever. I don't, you know, it's hard for us to find those, you know, so it might be just more me.
But Jay lives in Texas, and he doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to force him to drive me to all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre locations, which are on the other side
of the
of
restaurant,
state,
wherever the house is now.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to all the
awesome.
Walker Texas Ranger shots, I'm sure those are memorialized.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, South Fork. Can take South Fork.
Yeah, don't get me started on the movie locations.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a whole podcast. Although I am more interested in that than in this movie, I have to say.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into a little bit. Well, I guess I should say, so you guys do your own show, YHS on Monster Island. And that is about the movies, the collectibles, and everything related to kaiju and Godzilla, correct?
Yeah, correct.
I'm curious, how did you guys get into all of that? Just because, like I was alluding to, like I was thinking about it today, like why didn't I? It just wasn't accessible to me. I was thinking about that.
To it,
I wasn't exposed to it.
Cool.
I mean, this
Your
is
friend sucked.
This is probably the first Godzilla movie I ever saw.
Get rid of that.
Is that the Matthew Broderick one?
This is 1998's Godzilla by Roland Emmerich. I am aware that this is a terrible movie, but it holds a special place in my heart.
It's not the worst Godzilla movie that exists.
No.
Is that Matthew Broderick and Hank Azaria?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't finish that one either.
Hey, Jake and I actually shared a bond over that one because we both, I think, both of our stories is that was like the moment that we knew movies could be bad.
That was the first time.
I was like, I don't enjoy this experience, and I'm supposed to like this movie. And it's it was
like the first time I came out of a movie theater being like, "What? Did I hate this?"
Yeah,
I will defend the opening shot because when he sticks those rods in the ground in the rain and all those worms come up.
That's your favorite part of Godzilla.
That's my favorite part of this. I'm not even joking. That is my favorite part of this movie.
I mean,
and it's the opening scene.
And I think about it all the time. Yes, it's literally the opening scene.
If we went through a rabbit hole, like there's a lot that there's a lot of reasons that movie ended up the way it did. And there are a lot of people who really like it. There's a lot of people who like the creature design. I think Godzilla looks cool. It doesn't look like Godzilla, but it's a cool looking creature. I have a lot of nostalgia for that time period. The
great marketing.
Taco Bell. Yeah, the marketing was insane.
Great marketing.
I have so many of the toys that I've had literally from when that movie came out. I still own them. I recently posted a picture of me with some of the screen used props from that movie in the Sony archive.
The Sony archives.
But the movie sucks. So
it's the one thing about Godzilla is like when you have now,
good thing I have it on 4K as well.
So do I. I have
my goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's like we all have so many copies of it.
You can see those worms.
Why do we do that? Why do we do that?
When you have 40 movies, when Supernova comes out, they'll have 40 feature films for Godzilla, and you have animes and tons of animated series and games and everything. Like, it's gonna cross the spectrum on all types of good, bad, and different. The
There's gonna be weird stuff.
And when you get thousands,
makes sense.
And when you get thousands of Godzilla fans together, like at one of the conventions, that's the cool part. Is like you can understand like where their entry point might be their favorite film, or a certain era, or a certain type, or Godzilla done in a certain way, and that's the really cool thing about about the Godzilla franchise in particular. And then when you stretch it out to the greater tokusatsu genre and things like Ultraman and Gamera and all that type of stuff, it gets even crazier. And that's what the magic happens, and why that fandom and that community gets so tight so quickly is because there's so much. I mean, I love Ghostbusters as much as any good red-blooded American, but like at the end of the day, like
what if Canadian
and red-blooded Canadian, hey, you're the knockout rounds. Good job. But like I feel like what if you had 39 to 40 feature films of Ghostbusters and all of that?
No,
it kind of crazy, right?
Yes, it would suck. Some of them would have to be bad.
Yeah.
So it just,
I mean, it's what's happening with like Star Wars now. You know what I mean? Like we used to live in a world where they were like, most people would say there's 3 Star Wars movies and they're perfect. And now it's like, oh, well, there's 11 Star Wars movies and some are good and some are awful. And I don't want to. But then you have like kids who grew up with the prequels, you know, and that's like Episode 2's their favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right.
Yeah, it's where is your entry point? Where's the nostalgia for you, right?
Yeah.
You made a good point, Jay. I was going to bring it up, but with the release of Godzilla X Kong Supernova, that it will be the 40th theatrically released Godzilla movie.
Mm-hmm.
I have them written down. So there's currently
we're going to go through all of them.
No.
1954 was the first one.
1954 is the first Godzilla movie, and then we'll sort of talk about it. The American version comes out in 1956, kind of akin to what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Mm-hmm. Very much related,
So November 3rd, 1954, the original Godzilla is released. It is an incredible movie, really, because it's like this original idea inspired by, you know, the nuclear radiation that Japan has been affected by, you know, through the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. What's the
and more specifically the Lucky Dragon number 5 incident.
Exactly, I have that written down. Yes. So the Lucky Dragon number 5 was a tuna fishing boat that the U.S. was conducting. What year? I forgot to write down the year, but I think 1954 or something like that. Or no, sorry, a little bit earlier. But the U.S. was conducting nuclear tests, and this tuna boat was affected by the nuclear radiation, and everybody on board got radiation sickness. One fisherman actually died from radiation sickness, and this sort of inspired the idea which we now know as Godzilla. And it went through other iterations. It was going to be a different type of creature, but essentially it is a response to nuclear weapons and nuclear radiation.
Nature's response, right?
Well, I mean, Japan's response, right? It's Japan sort of like
there was sort of a like stigma on making stories or movies like about the war and the bomb. And this was like
without it
this
being,
was their way to sort of make a movie about
the
atomic bomb without doing it.
And not only are they like commenting on nuclear radiation and what it can do to plants and animals and people, but they're also showing Tokyo destroyed, Japanese cityscapes leveled, right? It's all of that subtext, which ultimately the US version, they try to remove all of that subtext from their Americanized versions of Godzilla in 1956's Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Mm-hmm. And then then it's just a water lizard movie?
Basically,
there's no reason for it.
And
goofy.
We'll get into a little bit more, but they do the exact same thing in Godzilla 1985. Mm-hmm. They try to sort of remove the nuclear subtext, even though there is
those little two things. Don't worry about those little two things.
Like, even though it's all in Godzilla 1985, they just try to skirt around it and soften it up, or in the case of Godzilla 1985, make it the Soviet the Soviet Union, who
change
are
it to the Cold War. Sure,
exactly,
of course, yes.
exactly. I mean,
shift the enemy.
There is literally a sequence where the Soviet Union launches a nuke at Japan, and the U.S. government saves it by launching their own nuke to blow up the other one. Like it's like we're the heroes.
It's offensive.
Imagine if Rocky IV was done in 1945.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly like 54. For those that haven't seen it, like the Japanese, the original one. I mean, it is.
Now I'm into it.
It is a must watch. I mean, it is a must watch. Because it also takes a skilled hand to do. Think about that. I mean, in 1954, they're doing this allegory of the conflict, the destruction that the atomic age can cause and everything. And in Japan, not far too long after that. So that's why we were so lucky. It's almost like a perfect storm that you get Ashiro Honda to direct it. There's a reason that he's Kurosawa's right-hand man for the continuation of Kurosawa's career. I mean, he's one of the greatest Japanese film directors there ever was in Ishiro Honda. You have Eiji Tsuburaya doing the special effects, who I will argue is more important into the world of special effects in Japanese cinema than anybody for sure. And on the Mount Rushmore in cinematic special effects for all of film. You have Akira Ifukube, who is one of the greatest composers of all time. And of course, the guy tying it all together that came up with the whole concept, Tomoyuki Tanaka. I mean, he stays with Godzilla until through the Heisei era. So they had these amazing people. And of course, the cast is legendary actors like Takarada and Akiko Harada, who we'll talk about today as well. But like, that is a film that, I mean, some of the scenes in there are some of the most haunting that you'll ever see. The little girl getting clutched by her mom as they're about to die, as the building's following on them and saying, we're about to join daddy now. These are things that like people sometimes, because the other 38 movies maybe don't have that same type of gravitas, like this movie is a true masterpiece. I mean, I put it up there, maybe right a rung under your Seven Samurai, and on those, like, it is that good of a film, and it just happens to have a man in a suit.
It's so much more, you're right. It's so much more than that, right? Like it's a special effects marvel for the time period, but there is so much depth to the story they're telling.
Yeah, it is important to note, though, for people who aren't steeped in Godzilla films, and you were just kind of touching on this, Brandon. Yeah. So the original Godzilla, the original Gojira that came out in 1954, there are two versions. And if you just look up the original Godzilla and you watch Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is the American version, it is a 98% completely different film than the original Godzilla.
Yes.
Gotcha.
They filmed, they filmed all the stuff with Raymond Burr, Steve Martin, whose character is also in 1985. That's all stuff that was added in. And it's like painfully obvious they're not in the same room or anything. They changed dialogue. There's a moment where I'm like, kudos to them, because there is a shot where it's like, I can't remember the character's name, but she's like the main female character in the original Godzilla, and they like got her costume right, and they shoot her from behind, from the back,
exactly. And I was like, oh, good job, they got that costume right. But
then they do the same thing with 85. Like,
exactly.
The version we're talking about is like the watered down American, kind of silly, not as good version of the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I watched, right? That version.
You watched the watered down, Yeah. So to Jacob's point, 1954 Godzilla is the original Japanese version, or Gojira is the original title. In 1956, Jewel Enterprises and Embassy Pictures, they buy the rights from Toho for $25,000. And they produce an American version reusing the footage from the original 1954. So 1956,
the fucking material. Wow.
So 1956 Godzilla, King of the Monsters, is exactly what Jacob is saying. It is a watered down, Americanized version using the monster suit footage and inserting this white actor, Raymond Burr, into all of the action. And he basically
so surprised to see him show up tonight.
Yes. Well, I
was like, is that Raymond Burr?
Yes, Perry Mason himself.
Look at Ironside just showed up. Oh, that's right. Well, both of them, I guess.
And so he, just like in Godzilla 1985, he basically like comments on everything that's going on because he's not really part of the action, right?
No. Well, I think his commentary in
exposition.
85 is it's even more disconnected from the plot than even in 56. I think this one like when he's like Godzilla's looking for something.
Well, he shot all his stuff in one day for
that. Apparently, yes.
He's all clairvoyant.
Both films. The rumor is that even 1956, King of the Monsters, he shot it all in one day. Some people say 3 days, but he says he shot for 24 hours.
Yeah.
In Godzilla 1985, the difference is that it's all in that one room.
It's all in one room.
It's all in that pentagon room.
Yeah.
And he's just basically looking at a screen and commenting, just like Jay said, like he's looking for something. You don't understand Godzilla.
Did you guys see Starship Troopers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Neil Patrick Harris character where he's just like the clairvoyant guy. He's like, he's afraid, whatever.
Well, and that's the funny thing about Godzilla 85 is that the way they introduce Raymond Burr, the character Steve Martin, again, is he basically like has a nightmare, which is saying like he has like a vision or a feeling that Godzilla's returning. So what does he have, some sort of like connection to Godzilla? And they allude to that he's the only American survivor from the 1956 in their movie Godzilla Attack, right?
Well, that's the answer. So it's like Jaws 2. I know what a shark looks like because I've seen one up close. So that's it.
Yeah.
We can sense the Godzilla because he's been so close.
He's the expert.
And then, by the way, that's the perfect movie scene, of course, where the guy is correctly predicting this negative outcome, and everyone else is like, you're crazy. Why would we close the beach?
Well, and
they're like, Godzilla hasn't been around in how many years? You're crazy.
And what's funny is that, like, so the Godzilla 1985 we're technically talking about tonight is the American version of The Return of Godzilla from 1984, a far superior film.
Yes.
It has,
but we can't
characters.
Find that anywhere, right?
Oh no, that's available.
Yeah,
that is easier to find than Godzilla 1985, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later.
It wouldn't qualify for this podcast. I get.
Yeah,
it.
we actually Jake was there. We actually did showed Return of Godzilla, the 84 Japanese cut at our film festival here in Dallas that we put on called Kaiju Go last year. It was one of our Godzilla double feature.
Cool. How long have you been doing that festival? By the way?
This will be the 4th year. This year will be the 4th year. Yeah,
dude, it's super cool.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It's a great, cool
thing. I may want to pick your guys' brain in the future as we progress on a couple projects here. Hey, Brandon, before we get too far, I just want to say there's a bunch of people in the comments, but there have been a couple funny ones. Jason Growhowski, I can't quite see that, in the beginning said there should be a Biff suite. I agree with that. The Plaza should totally freaking have a Biff.
Totally.
A Biff suite. Like, do you know how many nerds would book that out at $1,000 a night?
Oh,
just get a couple friends. Dude, that's a great freaking idea. Next year they should separate the Ghostbusters weekend so we can go to both. Yeah, but they're both on the days they're supposed to be on.
I think that. Ghostbusters has precedence there. Let's be honest.
I agree.
I love Astoria.
It's got a year of seniority, right?
I also think it's a little bit more popular than Free Willy or Kindergarten Cop, which are both.
Oh yeah, but Goonies. Yeah, you're right. Ghostbusters more than Goonies these days.
I think Ghostbusters is still bigger than Goonies. Yeah.
Before we go too far, the Firehouse thing, I am still because I was like the first fan. I was in the business too, but I was doing it for fandom. To go into the LA Firehouse, I've got a special place in my heart for the LA Firehouse.
Yeah.
Brandon, I know you guys know that. Have either of you ever? Well, it sounds like Jacob, you'd be more likely to. But have you ever been inside?
I haven't been inside. I've been to it, but I haven't been inside. Any of the times I've been over there, it's it's been in such like disarray for so long. They're fixing it up, right?
There's boards up that people, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So there's been a plan in place for about 30 years for this restoration project to make it a firehouse museum.
Yeah.
About 25, sorry for the sidebar, Brandon, my bad. This was my bad. 25 years ago, there was this guy, caretaker, living there named Daniel Silva. And I reached out to him through some nonprofit website. I got to him as an actual location inquiry for a TV show I was working on at the time. And so I got to go down there and tour the place with a PA And then I was like, this is ridiculous, because everything, other than the fact that like they removed the poles, but they removed the poles before Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
Other than that, like everything was still there. The lockers were still there. Venkman's office was gone, obviously. But like, dude, when you go around the corner underneath the big staircase, there's a door that goes downstairs again. And those are the stairs to the actual basement where they fucking shot it. So that's like the little door is still painted red next to Winston's desk where he's sitting. That's a big Twinkie. And in fact, if you open it, there's a hallway that goes all the way back out to 5th Street and like underground. And at the other end is a bunch of it's like thousands and thousands of bullet holes. They used to get drunk with the cops, apparently, is what the story we heard was the fire chiefs and the cops, and would go down there and they'd just get drunk and fire off rounds down this basically this little private shooting range they had down there. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so I love that building. Like, I have an issue with Frozen Empire because of how much they changed the physicality of how things actually are in the building to fit the story.
Yeah.
And the footprint of Hook and Ladder 8, because the Fire Station 23 is 2 to 3 times as big as Hook and Ladder 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, and taller, longer. It's crazy.
Yeah. We just talked about it on our Police Academy 2 episode, because the backside of the fire hall is used for the precinct entrance in Police Academy 2.
Correct. The actual Ghostbusters firehouse goes straight through because it was built during horse-drawn carriage days.
Yes.
So they couldn't back up those things, so they would drive it in one side and pull it out the other.
Which is cool.
So behind Venkman's desk
Frozen
is
Empire,
a mirror image of the front.
The opening of Frozen Empire shows, I can't remember what year it is, but it's the time period of horse and carriage.
Right.
The fire hall. That's how Frozen Empire opens.
Which sucks in that movie, though, because there's a building behind it, so they couldn't actually even do what I'm describing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but
wait, Ghostbusters is Frozen real? Empire. It's all fake.
I know.
Oh my god.
But at the end of Afterlife, at the end of the credits and everything, when they pull Ecto, that is actually Firehouse 23 in LA, which is pretty damn
LA,
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when they were shooting that.
In answer to your question, yeah, it's been every brick, every piece of tile has all been removed. They're like the whole side, which used to be a vestibule underneath that shooting range or above that shooting range I was talking about, is now like a wheelchair ramp it's going to be a whole modern.
Right. It's just going to look like something. Yeah.
The old one is gone already. It's already erased. Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw about as much of it as you could see in Frozen Empire way back. I mean, Afterlife way back.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But the rest was awesome, including the kids scene from the birthday party and Flatliners and every other movie that was shot upstairs.
Yeah.
That National Security was shot there with Martin Lawrence. Steve Zahn.
The last thing I wanted to just talk about for Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I learned this doing research for the show, but the dubbed voices in King of the Monsters for some of the Japanese people is James Hong. Legendary actor James Hong. Yeah. He's in Wayne's World 2. He plays Cassandra's father. He's
Revenge of the Nerds 2.
Revenge of the Nerds 2, Kung Fu Panda, Seinfeld, the Chinese restaurant episode, one of the most famous episodes of Seinfeld.
Yeah. Seinfeld Fallout?
Yes.
Oh, yes. A wonderful character.
Mulan, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, James Hong is absolute legend.
Awesome. So wait, it's his voice doing the dubbing
in 1956's King of the Monsters.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, we're not quite there
bad.
yet.
I'm trying to look at the comments too.
I wanted to ask you guys, because I couldn't really corroborate this information, but is it true that the original Godzilla was not widely available in America until 2004?
Yeah, well, you mean the Japanese version?
The Japanese version.
I was actually going to bring that up. A lot of the original Return of Godzilla was hard to find. So, like, when I was a kid watching 85 and King of the Monsters, you're a kid, you don't realize like this isn't the original. These people are added, and it wasn't until I think when I started reading G-Fan, which I started getting when I was like in middle school, that I started to figure out like, oh, there's other versions of these movies. I've been watching the American versions that are dubbed. The subtitled versions are different. There's sometimes the dialogue is changed, sometimes they do this, but those were not possible to find unless you got a bootleg somewhere.
Yeah.
They didn't exist. You were just watching the American version. And then sometime in the 2000s, this company, Jay, you might know their name, I don't have it off the top of my head, started putting out Blu-rays or DVDs, and it might be Kraken. I'm not sure. There's a couple different companies that's been able to do it, but it was like kind of a big deal. And they were like, hey, this is the first time you're going to be able to just go buy the actual Japanese version. So then in the 2000s, I'm like rebuying, 15 Godzilla movies that I've been watching my entire life and being like, well, here's a completely different version.
Yeah.
Or here's
to go through like the process, like when we were, this was the early 90s, there had already been after 84, 85 came out, there was a movie in 89 and then 91, 92, 93, 94. And we're there and American Godzilla fans don't know that any of these exist unless you get G-Fan magazine. And so how I got my bootleg VHSs was I'm a 11, 12-year-old kid asking my mom to send a money order to somebody in an ad in G-Fan magazine.
Wow.
To send a money order. They would send me
I remember that.
Back. Yeah. And so that's how I remember it today. I mean, I had on for Return of Godzilla. I had it was an old VHS with I printed on probably a Packard Bell 486 DX computer printer and that says Return of Godzilla.
A dot matrix label.
Yes, it was.
Well, then Criterion got a hold of Godzilla, and Criterion started putting the remastered versions out and stuff like that. And I remember not that long ago, maybe last year, I was at my mom's house and King of the Monsters was on TV, the American version. And I mean, I have not watched that version since the Japanese version became widely available, because why would you ever go back and watch that?
Yeah.
But I watched it so much as a kid.
Wow.
I put it on and I was just like, every word I could say. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, God, this is so bad. But also I remember every bit of it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, think about, I'll go back to the Ghostbusters analogy. You're the biggest Ghostbusters fan in the world. You might be the only friend that knows anything about Ghostbusters. And there are 4 or 5 films that have been made that you don't even know about exist. And then you walk into a Kmart or a Walmart, and Jake and I recall this story because it both happened to both of us. And you see these toys from a company called Trendmasters that are these monsters with Godzilla you've never seen before. And you're like, what are these things? Who is this monster? How is this redesigned? And they're from films that have already been out for years.
Right. These concepts came from somewhere. They're not
the
never
toys. But the toys came out here before the movies ever did.
Sure.
So
and that's why I was, because it's insane to me that these original Japanese movies couldn't find their way over to America until the mid 2000s. That just seems wild. And even these Americanized versions, when you think about it, it's the reason they did it is because they were like, oh, nobody could read a subtitle. Nobody could handle seeing a Japanese film in America, right? It's such a stupid reason to insert a white man into these Japanese movies.
It's a different generation. I will say it's a different generation. My grandparents' generation, he fought in the war, and they didn't.
Right.
He didn't buy Japanese cars, and there's a whole.
True, I guess there's that aspect.
They were avoiding it.
Ones.
But it does seem like by the 80s we had Hondas here and stuff like that.
It makes me think of when y'all follow that bird episode y'all did. It makes me think of why Sesame Street and the Muppets work is they don't talk down. That you don't have to tell everybody. You can show them in a visual medium, and it's
beautiful.
It's hey. You guys can't read. You're not going to read this stuff. We have to tell you in this terrible dubbing.
Yeah.
It's this will never work over here.
Well, and what's funny about King of the Monsters is they invent a character that's a translator. That's just there's still Japanese dialogue happening in King of the Monsters, but then somebody just translates what has just been said to Raymond Burr throughout the film.
Well, Brandon, you asked earlier how we got into kaiju and Godzilla, and the thing that got me into that, it was my grandfather. He loved monster movies, And I grew up watching movies with him every weekend, and he introduced me to Joe Bob Briggs on TBS when I was a kid, Monster Vision, and we would watch like Harryhausen movies and stuff. But they would tape Godzilla movies for me because they knew like I loved it. And I remember the first time I saw this movie, they had taped this and the sequel to this movie, which is a much better movie. Yeah. The best Godzilla movie, in my opinion, Godzilla versus Biollante. And, and we watched them back to back. And I just remember being like, up until this point, Godzilla looked like, to me, he looked like he did in the 60s and 70s, where he's really goofy and he's dancing and he's like doing drop kicks on Jet Jaguar and Megalon, and you're like just having fun. And then I remember I've told this story before too, but I remember my grandma warned me about this movie before we put it in, and she was like, "Hey, he's mean in this movie, and he's got fangs, and he's a little scary." And I remember being like,
"The fun guy in a suit anymore."
Yeah, it's just like it's a little different, But
yeah, well, that's a perfect segue. Because so 1984's The Return of Godzilla. It's almost 10 years since the previous Godzilla movie, which was a Mecha Godzilla movie.
Terror of Mecha Godzilla, yeah.
Yeah, 1975, I believe, is Terror of Mecha Godzilla. Mm-hmm. And so basically the 25th anniversary of Godzilla is coming up for 1984. And Toho, they want to reinvent Godzilla. They want to bring Godzilla back. They have a couple script ideas going around. They're talking to a bunch of people, and then an American comes to them, Steve Miner, producer of Friday the 13th, director of Friday the 13th Part 2 and Part 3, House, which we covered on this show, 1985, and Halloween H2O.
And he partnered with Fred Decker.
That house was a rough watch.
Yes, exactly.
Which the Dawson's Creek reference, because he did some Dawson's Creek. So you brought up, yes.
And we briefly talked about it because yes, you're right. Steve Miner comes to Toho and says, "I want to do my own version of Godzilla in 3D," and he wants Fred Decker to write the script. So Fred Decker gets this chance to write a Godzilla movie, which is the reason why he stops writing House for Steve Miner and gives it to Ethan Wiley, who ends up writing House and then directing House 2 and I think House 3, I can't remember, but definitely House 2. Ethan Wiley directs House 2. But Fred Decker, as we all know, Monster Squad, writer director of Monster Squad, one of the best movies ever made. This opportunity
RIP to the Warner Ranch every single time.
Yes. He gets this opportunity to write this Godzilla movie for Steve Miner. He jumps at the chance. They want to do it stop motion. They want to do it 3D. It ends up sort of, it falls apart. But essentially, they want to bring Godzilla back to its scary sort of, terrorizing Tokyo roots. Because all the subsequent films, not that I've seen them, but I from what I have seen, Godzilla kind of turns into a savior of Japan, right?
Almost immediately.
Oh, really? It's like that?
I mean, so the second Godzilla film, he fights another creature, but it's weird. It's the last one in black and white. And then the third Godzilla film they ever made was King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yes.
Which is super silly and and then from there, Godzilla's a good guy.
No, one more.
Except Godzilla versus Mothra.
Mothra versus Godzilla is the greatest.
Mothra versus Godzilla, yeah.
1965.
Is that the three-headed thing?
No, Mothra's the moth.
Mothra's the big moth. Is that the three-headed? Is that Ghidorah?
That's King Ghidorah, yeah.
King Ghidorah.
But
I know my characters.
Yeah, but even though he's still a villain in that, he is, but he's not. You're already by the second movie, you're on Godzilla's side.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well,
I was on Godzilla's side this time because man is who created fucking Godzilla.
Yeah, you're right.
So it becomes a humanity and a cruelty towards animals story.
It does.
That's why I don't really like Godzilla's, because it's kind of like I get it, and it's a really tragic story because man sucks, and that's sort of the end of it. And it's like, well, now I don't need a whole guy in a suit thing. Although the miniatures are my favorite part.
Yeah.
I will say that.
100%.
Brandon,
yes.
you skipped over one thing that we have to dive into because I think it's one of the most fascinating parts of Godzilla. Jake and I did a whole episode on the unmade Godzilla stories. And so there's a lot of these scripts out there that some of them are bonkers. Like, I mean,
crazy
like ridiculously crazy stuff. But so when they were, before it got to Miner and Decker, when they were doing that resurrection of Godzilla's in there, they went through a skit. And Jake and I, we always like, there's this very loud minority of Godzilla fans that love this creature called Bagan. And the concept of Bagan or Bakken in this one was in one of those original scripts. And it's appeared in nothing other than a video game and in the puppet show,
Gojiban. Yeah.
Yeah. And but like people go ape shit over this thing. They're like, oh my God, Bagan's the greatest monster ever. And it's like, they're nuts. And so a little bit of eye roll. So that first script was going to have the shape shifting Bagan monster. But then they started trying to get elements from what I think is maybe the greatest movie that never was made of all time. And it was from a late 50s script. So this was going to be the third film made. So right transitioning off of black and white before King Kong versus Godzilla was The Bride of Godzilla. And, and The Bride of Godzilla, which like I said, they tried to steal some elements and some actually lasted, like the Shokiris and stuff. But the concept was, you know, Godzilla was going to discover Hollow Earth. Yes, that the MonsterVerse reused in the American films, but essentially they were going to create this giant like robot powered by AI and memories of a dead daughter or one of those, and Godzilla was going to fall in love with it, and it was actually like a nuclear bomb. They were going to explode and kill him from there. But like Godzilla with a robot girlfriend in 1956 or 7 happening. Look, what? Like, it's just amazing. So yeah, look up stuff on Bride of Godzilla. It's fantastic stuff.
Was she also massive in scale?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She gigantic.
I guess she'd have to be.
You'd have to be. Well, different set of problems there.
What's the lore of Mechagodzilla? Is that built by the Japanese people?
Well, it depends on which Mechagodzilla you're talking about. Now, if we're talking about the original Mechagodzilla, he's an alien creation, and But what's really
that would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, but what's really great is that when he shows up, he's wearing a Godzilla suit. And he's messing stuff up,
awesome.
And he's trying to blackmail Godzilla, and everybody's like, Godzilla wouldn't do that. And then one of Godzilla's friends, Anguirus, shows up to be like, dude, what are you doing? And Mechagodzilla like beats the crap out of him, makes him bleed and stuff. And everybody's like, what is wrong with Godzilla? And then it's like the real Godzilla shows up, and there's like a fight where it's two Godzillas. And the real Godzilla's like looking at him all weird and stuff. He's like, "What is this?" You know, that's a
fantastic.
Great. That's
Godzilla in an Egger suit.
Which one is that one?
Godzilla. It's just Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I think it's 74.
Yeah.
Well, 74. I'd like to point out, if anybody is interested in watching these films, they are all, well, not all of them, but I believe it's the Showa era films. They're available on the Criterion channel.
They're also on HBO. HBO has a lot of the Japanese versions streaming,
except for King Kong versus Godzilla. That one is they got it like especially for the DVD release. Yeah. But I don't think that they have it streaming. And then they did add Return of Godzilla, this film, the original of this film, and Godzilla versus King Ghidorah 91 and Godzilla versus Biollante are all streaming. But after that, in the Heisei era, they don't have any of the rights.
Yeah, they don't have those.
But Criterion is they just entered the Heisei era, so I don't know if they're going to keep going and if those the later '90s movies are going to end up on the streaming service or not. But
I feel like they're probably working on it. I mean, this is the Criterion sidebar. They have been much more like. They're putting out films that people are like Criterion snobs are mad that Criterion is releasing. I look at it and I go like, no, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is a culturally significant film 100%. And deserves a 4K 100%. Release in the Criterion collection, 100%. But that type of movie, a Warner Brothers mass release, a version that you can buy a cheap Blu-ray of, there is people who don't believe that movies like that should be put out by Criterion, but I totally disagree. I just think that they're just like, what films can we upgrade and put out special features, preserve, right? Allow them
that's
to
what
be
Criterion
accessible.
was supposed to be around for.
Exactly. And that's what's so cool about like the Criterion channel. Even though it is expensive, I signed up for a month so that I could watch a bunch of these Godzilla movies because they're all easily accessible on the Criterion channel. It is expensive, but they have a lot of.
There is some great stuff on the Criterion channel.
Yeah, I don't actually know if they stream in 4K. I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah,
just curious. Again, because the Criterion in my mind, it's like a museum restoration.
They're
I want to see the
getting
best
into
possible version.
4K, like for their discs. It took them so long to even start putting out 4K discs. I think we're only in like year 2 of 4K releases from the Criterion collection.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm slowly upgrading certain movies in my collection. Ones that I'm like, I already have the Criterion Blu-ray. It's already beautiful, but okay, Barry Lyndon's. I do need in 4K from the Criterion, and then but you
just got to get that full
big box set,
$500 box set with 30 discs.
Yeah,
30
keep it
30 discs for 13 movies.
Yeah. It's crazy. I'll wait for the sale, 50% off. Sale.
Yeah, same.
Oh, so that's all of Kubrick or something.
Everything.
Yeah, they just announced
well, that makes sense. Okay, that's beautiful.
It's everything from the early films, the Killing and Fear and Desire, all the way up until Eyes Wide Shut. Even though I just got the 4K Criterion Eyes Wide Shut release.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that.
They just dropped that.
They just put that out
a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Iron Wolf here says it's all there. These are movies. The Godzillas are available on YouTube, Tubi, and Pluto TV as well. If anybody has those, some of those are free.
Yeah.
So
ultimately, like these original Japanese versions are much more accessible. That if you want to get into this and watch these soon to be 40 movies, they're so much more accessible now than they ever were pre 2004. Yes, exactly.
And we.
I did buy a bootleg of Godzilla 1985 because there's no official release post VHS of Godzilla 85.
This is my bootleg. I grabbed it. This is my bootleg. This is the first time I saw the Return of Godzilla.
Yeah.
And this has the American version, the Japanese version, and then it has like another edit.
Mine is a Godzilla
Blu-ray
1985.
This is a DVD
bootleg. Okay. No. It didn't arrive in time, unfortunately. But
so did you watch the link that you sent us?
Yes, yeah. I sent that HD reconstruction internet
great
archive.
Yeah, it looked fine. Looked fine.
Yeah. I assume that it's accurate. I'm trusting the hardcore Godzilla fans on that regard.
Yep.
But
archive is usually pretty safe. But the good news, like there's been a halo effect too, as Godzilla has become more accessible. Godzilla by far the most popular, at least in the kaiju genre. But when you go out to broader tokusatsu and Japanese special effects, I mean, honestly, like that's when like we've been getting a lot more releases, physical media, and even just streaming rights to very obscure, short-lived tokusatsu TV shows and kaiju films that we never thought we would see. A lot of lost films that we thought were lost. I think of Space Monster Wangmagwi from Korea. We just got released, and there's a lot of really cool stuff that is because of Godzilla and the growth of Godzilla with these American movies recently, and now it's such a huge IP, bigger than it's ever been by not even close, like probably 10 times bigger than it's ever been on valuation. We're as kaiju fans, we get to like watch films that we have talked about for years that we've never seen before. And a lot of times when we're doing our podcast, like Jake and I are watching a film that either for the first time or the first time officially. And that's a cool thing. It's a really, really cool thing for the genre.
Well, and a part of that is how big, pun intended, how big Godzilla is for American audiences now, with your 2014 Gareth Edwards Godzilla, right? And now we have the Adam Wingard's Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla X Kong, right? Like these are big, huge blockbuster studio movies that are just continuing to bring attention to the character of Godzilla. And if there is a kid who goes to the theater to watch Godzilla X Kong and just falls in love with these big monsters, King Kong is an American film, so it's always been available. But now they just have the luxury of being able to find all of this this back catalog. And it's cool how accessible it has become in 2026. Crazy that it took this long.
Yeah,
but it's cool that it's so accessible.
If you'd have told me when I was younger that one day Godzilla's gonna have a TV show that's very popular, that Jack Burton's fucking in it, like I'd be like, are you kidding me? Kurt Russell and Godzilla are in the same show?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about Monarch on Apple TV. That's right. It's a Godzilla show.
I know, and you have obviously the animated efforts as well, and it is literally like in a new place. And we always talk about when we go to conventions like G-Fest in Chicago, and we see all these young kids and their entry point, like ours were Godzilla 1985 or one of the Showa era pieces, like their entry point is Monsterverse, but then their eyes are open to this whole back catalog of cool stuff. And it's just a really cool time to be a fan of a property that's finally getting its time in the sun here locally or domestically.
Totally. And I think a big part of, like, for me, I like the idea of the monster, but I just cannot get enough of, as Jay Ryan mentioned, like those miniatures. There is nothing better than watching this giant rubber suit like walking through an overpass or picking up a train, right? And the process, even back in 1954, knowing to shoot at a much higher frame rate. I was reading
down for the scale,
like 240 frames a second to slow it down to 24 frames a second as film runs through a camera and projector normally. That's what allows the buildings to and the rubble to fall at a rate that looks real. Because when you watch like behind the scenes, and I was watching some behind the scenes stuff of Return of Godzilla, and you watch that like rubber suit like walk around, it's so funny and awkward, and then everything falls, and the pyrotechnics, everything just is too fast, and it's just
like underwhelming. And
exactly, you're like, this is so goofy, but then you see it slow down as it's actually intended in the film, and you do buy it. You buy that this monster is terrorizing the city. There's a few shots in Return of Godzilla or Godzilla 85 where it's just like it's a little bit apparent, and I think if there's no people, like that shot when he first comes to the water and it's like the port side and there's all those military trucks and you don't see a single human being. Those are where it's like, okay, the illusion is sort of, that looks like toy cars kind of stacked up against this monster. But when he's actually in the city and like the cars are kind of moving by, it all works for me.
Yeah.
Whenever the camera's moving, it seems to help the illusion a little bit. When it's locked off, you sort of pick up the imperfections.
Yeah.
For me anyway.
In Godzilla 1985, that is when the Heisei series started. They really started, that's the first time they used like an animatronic.
Yes. I was going to talk about that.
Yeah. So like going forward, there he is.
Oh, so what we watched wasn't a guy in a suit? I thought it was still
both.
a guy in a suit.
No, it was.
90% of the time it's a guy in a suit. But they built this, and there's some close-up scenes. You can tell when it's the animatronic and when it's the guy in the suit. But this is when they started it, and then if you go forward from here, in the next film, I think Godzilla looks the best he's ever looked in the next movie.
And which one's that one?
It's Godzilla versus Biollante.
Oh yeah, you mentioned it. Yeah.
And there's an animatronic. They did the same thing. They made an animatronic head, and it looks so good. Yeah. But they, the miniatures and everything, like if that's the kind of stuff you love and you're watching the old Showa films and the Heisei, like there's so much of that. Like it's nothing but miniatures the whole film.
I think the miniature work in the Heisei era might be the best. I think Godzilla versus King Ghidorah is really good as well. But hey, the giant animatronic, it's a very expensive promotional tool is how it turned out to be, because they didn't quite match the suit. And so like that's why you don't see more of it. in the film. It just didn't quite
And-
like it was too apparently too obviously different.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And the thing with this giant animatronic is that it's hydraulic powered. It's not servos.
So it's making noises?
Yes, there's you can find behind the scenes videos, and you can hear all of the pressure valves or whatever, and the hydraulic arms all moving. It's not servo based as animatronics are more commonly known to be in the 80s and early 90s. But yeah, this is a giant excavator, a digger. It's using the same sort of hydraulic power to move this thing around. Also go ahead, Jacob.
No, I was just going to say this movie's almost like a proto Heisei film because it's like it's got so many things that are they improved on every aspect of it in the next movie immediately.
Yeah.
Like this is the only movie in the Heisei series that doesn't have another monster, and then Godzilla looks like this in this movie, and that is it. Like the next film, they change his look, and then he's basically that for the next 5 movies. Minor changes, but it's like they had this one little pocket where they made this movie and then said, okay, cool, let's move past that.
Yeah.
And change everything.
And the thing we should sort of make sure is clear, Return of Godzilla from 1984 and Godzilla 1985, it is a direct sequel to 1954's Godzilla and 1956's Godzilla King of the Monsters. So the 2 Japanese films are direct sequels, sort of jumping over all of the other Godzilla films, the Mechagodzillas, the 14, Godzilla King Kong, the 14 films, and then particularly Godzilla 1985 is a direct sequel to the Americanized version of Godzilla King of the Monsters. So they are sort of just reinventing and reinstating Godzilla as this terror. And you keep mentioning the eras. So the early era is the Showa era. And then this is the start of the Heisei era. Heisei era. And I had never looked this up, but those names come from the Japanese emperors that were ruling Japan at that time, which is just something I learned for the show. I never knew that.
And then from there, I mean, if you ever want somebody to go cross-eyed, like have them try to explain the continuity of Godzilla films, because it's like you have 1954 as an anchor point to almost everything, and then you have the Showa, the loose continuity of the Showa era, and then you ignore those. You have the Heisei era, then you have those films, then you ignore that, and then you have the Millennium series, which everyone is its own self-contained film connecting to 54, except for Godzilla against Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS, which are a duology that tie into the original film only. And then you go to like the offshoots of 98, the Reiwa, where everything is literally like Shin Godzilla, which doesn't connect to anything other than it. And then the Monsterverse, like it goes, I mean, it is nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Jay
Ryan.
I have a question. Thank you for calling on me. Okay, so my introduction to Godzilla is Pee-wee's Big Adventure, right? At the end, when
everybody knows how a Godzilla movie is made because of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Right?
Exactly. But even in that, you could see, here's what they're doing in the room, and here's what it looks like on the screen, and it was very impressive on the little black and white screen what they were doing. So, okay, what Godzilla would that have been that they were making in that movie? It was the same year as this movie, 85, so it's going to be probably made in 84, around the same time of the release of the return of. Are we into this era yet, or was that just some fictitious made up? I mean, I know it's actually fictitious made up, but I mean, is there a universe where that actually does work?
Well, there is. So Ghidorah is in there too, right? Isn't Ghidorah in
the three-headed one?
So, so those movies those movies exist, but they were made like in the 70s, and that Godzilla suit, that all looks like the older Godzilla. And I think Tim Burton is just a huge Godzilla fan.
Yes,
and
it would make sense
for sure. There's a Batmobile a couple minutes earlier in the same thing.
Yeah,
so I was curious if that was just like a movie trope of like they're a Western, a Godzilla type, all the different types of
I feel like
Christmas musical with the boat and all that.
Exactly, Tim Burton being a fan of movies and cinema, being like, how are we gonna, and probably even Paul Rubens too, right? Paul Rubens and Phil Hartman, who wrote
For
Pee-wee's
sure.
Big Adventure. They're just people of entertainment, people of the world. So they're doing exactly that. They're filling out what a movie studio would have.
All of the generic. Yes,
you know,
you got it. Yeah.
Twisted Sister, Christmas, Godzilla, all the staples of film cinema.
I realized the boat was from the Beach Blanket Bingo type movie, the Annette Funicello type of movie. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, when also there's
Frankie Avalon. Yeah, exactly.
There's actually another Godzilla tie with Pee-wee as well. Is in his house he has a very important rare Godzilla collectible. He has a Popey Jumbosaurus Godzilla, which from a company called Popey, which once again Paul Rubens was a big Godzilla fan. And so like there was little Easter eggs of Godzilla.
It wasn't there for no reason.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, also you were talking about Monster Squad earlier. They have multiple Ultraman toys in their clubhouse.
And in the 80s, and this actually ties into Godzilla 1985, there was a company in China called Imperial, and they released a lot of plastic dinosaurs, and they did this famous classic Godzilla that we saw in the toys in the mid-80s at Walmart and stuff. This was on the shelf on the sitcom Roseanne for basically the run of the series.
I came across that in my research.
Yeah, so that was another one that the tie-in was there forever.
Wow.
Just
in the living room?
Yeah, just in the back.
On the shelf in the living room.
The mantle,
amazing.
Before we close the loop on this 16-foot tall hydraulic Godzilla, I wanna show these photos.
16 feet tall.
Because
what did that thing weigh? That's like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Oh God. So exactly, yeah. I wanted to show these photos without its skin on because it is absolutely terrifying. Look at this.
Hey, what's the Fabulous Night at Freddy's or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's, totally.
This is scary as shit.
So
everything with the exposed eyeballs and teeth. Oh my God.
Here's a question for Jay and Jacob.
This is Tim Burton. This is Tim Burton right here. This is my nightmare.
Companies, they make all of these incredible toys, and I know that there is Sofubi and toys of the Godzilla stunt performer in the suit where you can see him like with his pants, right? Have they ever made a version of this, a skinless Return of Godzilla? Because this is cool to me. This face is super awesome.
I don't think so, but Jay, maybe we should.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I have the link in the description, but we will talk about Okashii Station at some point in this show. You guys totally should make a skinless. What would it be? Not iceberg kaiju. You'd be like skinless kaiju.
Skinless kaiju. Yeah. But there is a company called X Plus that does like realistic. Looks just like the suit style toys, and
there it is. The X Plus 1984 Godzilla.
And that's that's the Return of Godzilla, but they also recently put out a Cybot version, which is the animatronic.
Because it's a little bit different, what you were saying earlier.
Like really weird.
Yeah.
He's kind of skinny.
It does have weird proportions. Like this is you can see like when it's on the photo on the left hand side, it has like a sort of like it's because it's
kangaroo
standing
pouch
back or something. Yeah. It's got weird little proportions, and then the guy on the right is clearly one of like the submarine.
Oh, the Russia, they get destroyed. Yeah, Godzilla has a little bit of a fupa on some suits, but so the Cybot, the Cybot Godzilla, I mean, you can get those in like the kids action figure Bandai stuff. Like they make Cybot of the toys, and my favorite Cybot collectible. There's a sculptor that Jake and I are huge fans of in Japan named Unraku Saku. And they work with one of the big vinyl toy companies, Metacom, their company does. And they've done, he does everything's kind of chunky, rounder, softer, but very cool designs. I have the Unraku Cybot. So this is inspired by the rope, the animatronic, not the suit. So this is the Cybot Godzilla in black and purple from Unraku Saku, who is a very, very, very famous toy sculptor. So this thing is very cool.
What is the artistic choice between, like, why? So lizards, any reptile, I think, probably has eyes that kind of look this way, and then for some reason Godzilla looks forward like a human. What's that all about? What's that choice behind? What's that?
Because mutated.
Every time I look at it, I'm like, wow, it's such a cartoony way to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's the one thing for me that like there is some where I think it does look a little goofy, and then there's others like Godzilla -1. The way his eyes and his eyebrows furrow, I actually do feel like he's terrifying. I got
that's a T-Rex thing, right?
He comes around looking like a cat.
Exclusive 4K release, and I think he is like terrifying. But I think a big part of it is the size of his eyeballs.
Yeah.
So in Godzilla -1, he's got little eyes, but he's got that furrowed brow, and he looks mean and scary.
That's scary. That looks like a T-Rex. Back to the T-Rex.
But
you're right. When it's the big cartoony eyes that are very obviously fake and they don't blink or move around.
But I wonder if for Godzilla 85 and Return, it's the necessity even of, because his eyes move, and that's clearly like the side.
Oh, they do move,
right? All of I believe a lot of the close-ups of the head when he's roaring and his eyes are looking around, that must all be this Cybot that they built.
Gotcha.
And maybe
the close
size of his eyes.
That makes sense.
The size of his eyes is how small they could make them based on the technology that they needed to get inside that head.
Wow.
You should at some point you should look up, see if you can find some kind of chart or something of every Godzilla, because they made a new suit for every movie. Like there were a couple times where they would reuse a suit, but usually you're looking at a completely different suit for every film.
A completely different sculpt of the character.
Yes, and they did not try to make him look exact that often. It wasn't until you got to the Heisei era, but even then you can look at every suit and you can pick out what's different. But the eyes are different in every single movie.
The most they ever reused the same suit for was 4 films, and it's really 3.5 because it was the 1968 suit for Destroy All Monsters and Godzilla's Revenge. The new footage is only a very small amount, and then it goes through Hedorah and Gigan, and then they switch over for Godzilla versus Megalon in 73. But 4 films, and you have 40 films. Like, that's a lot of variation. Another one, I like the eyes up front. I think I don't want it to be.
I don't mind it. I just I mean, like, oh, it's a choice. I was curious if there was a reason.
I think it's that, like, we don't want it to be a giant dinosaur. We want it to be something that's mutated to where it brings on, so we can make it like it's just
because I think it wasn't because like his origin is different all the time as well. And I think originally if you read some stuff about the original film, they originally wanted his head to be shaped like
he was an iguana.
Only in one.
I thought she was an iguana. Of course, I thought she was. He's pregnant.
They at one point you can find concept art. At one point, his head was going to be shaped like an atomic bomb explosion, like a mushroom cloud. Like So there was all kinds of weird. They wanted it, and then like they also originally wanted his skin to mimic the burns that people got from it. So like there's all kind of stuff that went into the design there. So, and who knows if they even were.
But those are that's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
That there was it's a choice. It's obviously a choice. I was curious how you get there.
Yeah, I like this is one of the lobby cards or photo stills from this film that I have. And I mean, I like I said, for
that's
compared
the Cybot.
Yeah, compared to like when you think of what he's like at the end of the 70s, where it's clearly for kids. Like, I mean, the shows are going to the Champion Festival first for a kids festival before they're even in theater, and then you go from that. This is a big dramatic upgrade, and to Jake's point, it takes the next movie for them to really perfect it. And to be honest, that's still the best suit in 1989. Is still the best suit in the whole series. Another one that I think I'd love to get y'all's take on from artistic choices. There's a much beloved film from 2001 called Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monster All Out Attack, or GMK for short. And it is it is a kind of more of a standalone film in the Millennium series, but it's more spiritual. He represents the ghosts of all the Japanese men that died in the war. His eyes have no pupils. And it's very demonic. It's very creepy. Yeah. Like he's a
comic
nasty,
book. That's it.
He's a very, very evil entity. And they have to get guardian monsters to try to stop him and stuff. But it's a fantastic movie. But that design is one of my favorites because it's so different. And then when you get into the Shin Godzillas and stuff, I mean, they go really, really out there, which is cool. It needs to be. You have to reinvent this. Nobody wants to see the same thing 18 times.
That's very true. Except for stomping on buildings.
Yes,
I'll never get enough of that.
Yeah,
agreed.
That never
all that
changes.
unnecessary destruction.
Speaking of which, one of the things you always hear about Godzilla, and I guess it alludes to this design, is that like he changes sizes, right? Like there's not like a consistency in his size. One of the things I learned about Return of Godzilla,
Wasn't King Kong kind of that way too? Like
I think they all are, right? Like, yeah,
100%.
Okay, got it.
They just get bigger and bigger.
Yeah. One of the things I
Okay.
learned about Return of Godzilla is that they purposely made him bigger so that he matched the modern Tokyo skyline.
Yeah.
Because skyscrapers were getting built by the time the 80s come around. The buildings are so tall that if he was
Crazy.
what is he originally like supposed to be like 40 meters or 50 meters or
50
something?
meters,
Yeah.
make it about
Yeah.
80 or whatever.
150
he would have looked
feet-ish.
smaller than the buildings
Yeah.
that modern Tokyo had at that time.
Yeah.
So they needed to make him bigger in order so that he's still menacing walking through the city.
And now how big are some of some of the MonsterVerse ones, like 300 meters tall,
Yeah,
like
they're-
900 feet,
exactly.
you know, like there's so Godzilla. There was a planet Godzilla that was the whole planet. So I mean, like they can get really big now.
Oh my god.
Now they're breeding them. These
I'm
days,
out.
man.
Planet-sized Godzilla, I'm out.
Speaking
Godzilla.
of the city, we've been talking a lot about Ghostbusters.
Ah,
Jacob,
I was
you
wondering
probably-
if you. I was wondering.
you
if you
probably
were
know
gonna-
this,
Of
and
course.
I wanted where is it here? I pulled up some photos because there is a Ghostbusters reference in both Return of Godzilla and Godzilla 1985. Jay, Ryan, did you catch it by any chance?
If it's
harder-
visual, I probably missed it. I did not
Okay.
catch an audible.
quick.
reference
It's
as I was
really
watching.
hard in
It's
Godzilla
quick.
1985 because it's only in one shot, whereas in
Okay.
Return of Godzilla, it's in two shots. So
Let's see what we got
is this
here.
the right one here? Yeah. So
Is it
here's
Ron
the
Jeremy?
first one. No, this will be hard to see, but for the folks watching at home, this is Godzilla. This is a still from Return of Godzilla. Godzilla walking through the city, and
I'm looking for Stay Puft. I'm looking for anything
Right-
from the
right in the
Ghostbusters
middle.
world.
right in the middle, there's a black sliver, and you can just barely make out a Ghostbusters logo. Now, I'm just showing you this photo for context. It is in there, but this is how it
Really?
appears.
Just like
in-
knee height of the. Oh wow!
There you go.
So
Like
in
knee-
Godzilla,
is that
this
knee
is a
height?
still from Godzilla 85. So
Look at that
when
miniature work.
Godzilla enters Tokyo, there's a helicopter, and I can't. Does he blast it or with his atomic breath or something? And the helicopter blows up, catches fire, and falls. And you can see that there's a Ghostbusters logo on one of the buildings, like a billboard.
Yeah.
It would be in the city when the helicopter's crashing. So.
Do you think that they purposefully inverted the logo for copyright, or do you think those are all right-hand drive cars and they just inverted the shot to make them left-hand drive for these models?
I always just figured it was because the logo is. I think the logo is inverted in Japan. Like I think if you look at any of the promotional material for Ghostbusters that's Japanese, I think in some of it it's just flipped. It was the same. It's the same with like if you look at any UK Ghostbuster stuff, the logo's flipped.
I've never made that.
Yeah.
Wow.
The only time I've ever seen it
I
is when
think I
something's
might have.
bootleg and they're trying to avoid the Sony copyright and then they invert it. But I did not know what you just mentioned, and I certainly trust you on Ghostbusters knowledge these days.
I just wonder.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah.
Which is
They
weird
flipped it.
because other than the one shot in the movie where the Ecto is driving around and that also the frame is inverted, it's never been that way. Only in
wonder
one
if-
shot with the Ecto in the movie.
I wonder if wires got crossed somewhere in a marketing meeting overseas and nobody caught it, and so it just things start getting printed that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that. I
Yeah,
had
it's
no
weird.
idea. I mean, I know that you read the book from right to left and all of that. So maybe
Maybe there's something
they've got
to that.
him
Yeah.
looking that direction instead.
Yeah.
I
no
just-
clue.
Huh.
I wonder if they were replicating like a specific block or something in Tokyo, and it happened to have a Ghostbusters advertisement, so they put it there. Or
Yeah, maybe.
if the model makers were just fans of Ghostbusters, so it is an Easter egg because Like,
I think more the latter.
But the film,
you'd still have to clear all of those things if you were replicating it.
But the film wouldn't have come out by the time Japanese Return of Godzilla came out, because they're both 1984.
I know, but what I just told, it's funny that it came up at the beginning of this podcast, but I was alive back then. And for a year before Ghostbusters came out, a black fucking poster with just the logo on it. Nobody knew what it, not even Ghostbusters, I don't think. It was just that. And it was everywhere for a year before anybody knew what it was.
That's why I'm thinking maybe they were just replicating some specific building and it had that original advertisement on the building.
It's possible.
Well, hey, Jake, is it the one that you just showed, Jake, the gray one? Isn't there a big Godzilla Return of Godzilla advertisement in that one? Is that the one?
In one of those. Yeah. One of these as a.
Maybe they were like, hey, we'll
could be a cross promotion.
Yeah, something, and they didn't get as big of
some kind of trade agreement.
Yeah, I was like,
don't tell Sony or Columbia.
Yeah, I remember whenever Jay, you gave me these. I remember I looked through and one or two of these, they're just Japanese. Like this book doesn't even have. It has like maybe 2 pages of like promo stuff for Ghostbusters, but one of them has like a full page ad for
Return of Godzilla.
Return of Godzilla,
Well, okay. Well, let's get we've sort of really covered a history of Godzilla and Return of Godzilla. So, Godzilla 1985. It's credited as directed by R.J. Kisner and Koji Hashimoto. Obviously, Koji Hashimoto is the director of 84's Return of Godzilla. He's still credited. And R.J. Kisner is the director of the Pentagon sequences, essentially. He's interesting because he also directed a movie called Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Yeah, Roddy Piper, right?
Yeah, Roddy Piper. That's really the only other film he directed. After that, he gets into dialogue and ADR editing. And he works on some of the absolute biggest movies. He's worked with Christopher Nolan on Interstellar, Inception, Dark Knight Rises. Steven Spielberg on War of the Worlds, Catch Me If You Can, The Terminal, past and future guest, friend of the show and personal friend of you, Jay Ryan. He worked on Jingle All the Way. So he was editing Phil Morris's dialogue.
Thank you. I was like, that's a deep cut.
It is a deep cut.
My friend Arnold.
And he works on like the later Planet of the Apes movies. But it's interesting. He directs these 2 movies and then ends up being clearly a big professional in the film industry, working with some absolute legends.
I just thought he was like a Corman guy that was like, okay, hey, we got to get somebody to do these terrible scenes, like throw him in there,
right. Yeah, and he probably is, right? Like you bring up Roger Corman because Godzilla 1985 is a Toho New World Pictures joint venture. New World Pictures is Roger Corman's distribution company. Lots of that logo, the red, slit like Earth logo, whatever it is.
So cool.
I have like Spider-Man, those like 90s Spider-Man with the what is it, the guitar player of Aerosmith or whatever, the diddly-doo.
Yeah,
those
Joe
are
Perry?
What?
Maybe Joe Perry?
I don't know. That was my childhood, was those that 90s buff Peter Parker Spider-Man. All those VHS tapes are all New World Pictures. And so that logo is just like burned in my head.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, not taking anything from his career, but like Koji Hashimoto is an interesting cat too. Like, I mean, on the for actually the Japanese part of it, because, the thing about Godzilla going up until then, the Showa era, like not a lot of people got to direct it. Like, I mean, it was Honda. Yeah, you have the one director, Oda, for Godzilla Raids Again, because Honda wasn't available. But like, it's Honda until you get to Jun Fukuda, and then the one other kind of blip is Yoshimatsu Banno, who did Godzilla versus Hedorah, which is famously Tomoyuki Tanaka hated it because it was just it's so art housey for Godzilla, and it's like it was they mixed in animation.
Like 4 guys. It's like four guys who made all 14,
and
15 movies.
Hashimoto did his time. Like he was assistant director.
Assistant director, exactly.
Yeah, and then Toho gives him what was the you might know Brandon from your research. He did like a sci-fi film that wasn't very didn't do very well.
Yeah, I didn't write down any of those other non-Godzilla.
Sayonara
films.
Jupiter. Sayonara Jupiter.
Yes,
yeah,
right. That's what it was called. Yes,
it's kind of generic sci-fi of that era, and then they give him Return, which is so important. And then that's it. He does no more Godzilla film. He never works again on the Godzilla side. So it's crazy.
And the thing is, it's like, and maybe I'm wrong, but Return of Godzilla, I think, is a good movie. I really like the character. I love the human characters. I think they approach like their plan. You know, the scientists, realizing that the bird calls and he's responding to that. I think all of that is really good. I don't know how it compares to these, the other Godzilla movies I haven't seen, but I thoroughly enjoyed Return of Godzilla. I thought it was good.
You have some damn good actors. So that's, I think Return of Godzilla is one that is, as over the years has grown on me as I've come to appreciate that more than like when Jake mentioned, like when you're a kid and like your focus is on, you're focused on a different syllable.
When's the other monster show up? That's what I used to do.
Right? 100%. It's like, well, it can't be a better film because there's only one monster. It's like, it's an easy equation. More monsters, better film.
What do you mean he's fighting a Super X?
He's going to beat that. I mean, he's
hated the Super X.
So like I did an article for a magazine called Kaiju Ramen that's no longer in publication, but it was ranking the 10 most underappreciated human performances in Godzilla films. And the actor that plays Yosuke Natsuki that plays Dr. Hayashida, the Japanese Charles Bronson, in that era, but he was never the original, and it's very known throughout Godzilla fans. He wasn't the original selection for that role. It was Akihiko Harada, who played the original Serizawa in 54 and went on to play many other characters in Toho. He got ill, couldn't happen. He would have done awesome, and he was an amazing actor. Dr. Mifune, Terra Godzilla, another great one. But Natsuki, Yosuke Natsuki, is a phenomenal actor.
He's so good in this movie.
And he's
Dr. Hayashida. He's the bioscientist. He's so good in Return, and I mean, I guess in
they cut
as well.
So much. I mean, dubbing aside, they cut so much of his dialogue, and like you really buy into this. Like, yes, he's a biophysicist or whatever, but like his parents were killed by Godzilla, and like they dive more into that in Return of Godzilla in 1954. But like he's a believable guy, but also a lot of the scientists and stuff and those tropes, like they're not able to like get hooked up on the airplane or the helicopter in turbulence, but he's believable in that like alpha, but also a believable scientist in the Return of Godzilla. I think he's wonderful. It's a really good cast, and they bring back a lot of Easter eggs for big Godzilla fans. The geologist that at the very end is an actor named Hiroshi Koizumi. Koizumi's a fantastic actor. Had a long career in Godzilla, but you speak of the Criterion Collection. There's a film that nothing to do with Godzilla, but Hiroshi Koizumi I think it was in early 50s, a movie called The Late Chrysanthemums. It's a great Japanese film. It's on the Criterion Channel, but it's basically about 3 women in post-war Japan that are ladies of the evening and how they are surviving and stuff. It's an amazing film. But he's in it, and he's great. But the cast is great. Keiju Kobayashi, who was a Toho guy, Kurosawa guy, he plays the Prime Minister. That was his first Godzilla film. Yeah. I think he does great. But they with his faux Ronald Reagan voice in the dubbing, I think they waters him down so much. But he was great in the original. And of course, I can't talk about this film without my greatest crush in cinema history, Yasuko Sawaguchi, who was one of the most famous idols in Japanese history, and Toho's like the lady they were pushing so hard. This was like her first role, and then she goes on and I fell in love with her in 1995's Yamada Takaru, where she plays Oda Tachibana. Another great Toho film. But
she also is the voice in Spirited Away. She is the mother in Spirited Away. Yes,
she's a babe, and also Jake would love. She's Erica in Biollante.
Yep.
She is
One
Biollante.
one of the other things you would find if you watched, more Godzilla movies is that they had like a core cast of actors, and they would use them over and over and hey, we just had you in a Godzilla movie. Who cares? We're going to put you in the next Godzilla movie, put old age makeup on you, and make you play a completely different character.
And maybe not even put makeup.
All the time. It was so, I remember thinking it was so weird when I was younger, and I was like, is this not the same character as that? And they're like, nope, same actor, just a completely different person.
Oh, well, the best one was Koizumi, who I was talking about, the geologist. In 1964, he played, in Mothra vs. Godzilla, he played like Dr. Mira, some assorted scientist. And then in 1965's Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, he plays Dr. Mura, another scientist.
Yeah,
literally,
like, you're barely changing their names.
I was like, guys, come on. But yeah,
when you got a staple of actors, it's like Tarantino does it, Fincher does it, like all these. They like working with these people.
Kurosawa did that with Mifune and all those guys like that. That was the core group, and they bled over. So that's why when we talk about Godzilla 54, and you see freaking the guy that played Ikaru, Takashi Shigura in there. He's a staple in Kurosawa's library, and then they can steal him for some bits in these other monster movies. That was so cool. It's like you had maybe the greatest filmmaker of all time, and then you have Godzilla, and they could blend. It's like what, and that's amazing.
Yeah. No, it is a fascinating world.
Yeah.
Jay Ryan, did you have something you want to add?
Well, not to add to this, but when you have a break, I can go back to the backwards Ghostbusters logo. Luckily, one of our viewers happens to have the answer, and of course he does, because Kip's here tonight. And if you guys
run some red lights, Kip Marshall. Not
only does he is the source for screen accurate no ghost logos for Ectos, but also the answer here is we hadn't fully adapted the no ghost on U.S. roads, or the no logo on U.S. roads. Internationally, those signs are common. So for GB marketing, they flipped it to avoid any confusion for the real sign. That actually makes sense. They have the no all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the wrong.
Yeah, true.
Let's talk a little bit about Raymond Burr, just because I think we do have to. Raymond Burr is he's Steve Martin in both the King of the Monsters and in Godzilla 1985. He was born in British Columbia, New Westminster, British Columbia. He is a local boy for me. In fact, when I was reading about him, that's where he's buried. So maybe one day I'll go and visit his grave, pay my respects to Raymond Burr, Mr. Steve Martin.
You should do a figure, Jake, and we could expense a trip to British Columbia.
Yes.
I love it. Done.
Night Terror Martin, when he wakes up in a cold sweat.
We'll put a little minifigure of his grandson in there. It'll be
yes, exactly. Playing with like a Godzilla style toy.
Yeah.
He obviously Perry Mason, 271 episodes of Perry Mason, 26 TV movies. You had mentioned Ironside, but I think a lot of people maybe
almost as much as Godzilla.
I know, right?
He's also in Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window. He is the guy across the street that Jimmy Stewart thinks killed his wife and is watching throughout the course of the movie.
Spoiler alert, he did, right?
I'm not spoiling it. Go watch Rear Window.
That's a good movie.
It's a great movie. The Amazon deal days are going on right now, and the 4K of Rear Window is on sale. So I'm like,
you got to do it.
I've been buying. I have the Blu-ray Hitchcock box set, but as these 4K releases are coming out, I've been buying them when they're cheap. And I think, Rope. What is it? Rope, Rear Window, and one other one that I don't have on 4K yet is part of the
Rope
deal days.
Is one of my favorites, and nobody knows Rope.
Rope is
like fantastic.
My favorite type of movie is a play, a movie that could be a stage play. It's a one location piece. I just there's not a ton of them, but I just become obsessed with. I think they are the coolest way to watch actors on film because it could just be easily adapted to some sort of stage play. And Rope is
because of
one
the
those
fake
movies.
window in the back. This one really feels theatrical, like a stage play too, with the train in the sky and stuff.
I mean, don't even get me started on Rear Window, because the fact that they built this like city block inside of a soundstage is just
so you already
unbelievable. Know. Oh yeah.
Okay, so at Paramount, we shot Everybody Hates Chris on stage 17. Then there's the property building in the middle, which was all the offices. And then on the other side is stage 18. 18 is the only stage on the lot that has a basement.
Yes.
Because they dug it out for Rear Window. Instead of doing what they did at Warner Brothers, which was raise stage 18 or whatever so that it's super tall. They dug out
for Goonies.
16. Yeah. Exactly. Instead of raising it like that, they dug out the basement. And then the street level was actually down like 2 stories in the movie. So like Jimmy Stewart's apartment was actually like the level you'd walk in on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So I would go in there all the time and just look at it. And they would always use that, that double layer thing. When we were there, it was the Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts movie about the senator, whatever that one was. It was her apartment. It was like this multi-level condo thing with a view out the back. So they used it for that. But it was always something different.
The only other one I know of on the Disney lot, they have a studio with a basement because it was for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and that's how
so a tank.
They could basically they turned their studio into a tank by digging it down. Yeah.
That's cool. Wow, that's cool.
The location. Oh, sorry.
No, it's good. The Goonies one you mentioned as well also had a tank in it that they could flood, so that part of that area was deeper than other parts.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Go ahead.
Say, Jake?
No, I was just gonna say if you love like the single location thing. I mean, I'm assuming you just probably wanted the whole movie just to be the scenes in the Pentagon with the Dr. Pepper vending machine.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Was that not Hitchcock-esque? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that is exactly what I wanted. With that lieutenant or whatever quipping the whole time, he's the worst. God, absolutely. And I don't know how true this is, but one of the things I was reading is that's what they wanted to do with this movie. They wanted to take all the Return of Godzilla footage and then just make it like this campy, tongue-in-cheek, like almost like Airplane. They apparently they wanted Leslie Nielsen at one point.
What?
Yeah. And it would have just sucked. Like this Godzilla 1985 version is not as good as the original Japanese version.
No.
But the worst part about it is that one guy. All of his lines, all of his jokes are so bad.
I always get so mad at him. I'm just like, dude,
one heck of an urban renewal.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, who invited this guy? This guy sucks.
Yeah, I mean, and then famously, obviously, Raymond Burr wasn't going to do it if they made it.
Yes,
and he goes like, no, the first film was important. Piece of filmmaking. I'm not gonna come in here and make a joke of it. I mean, they still got their terrible gags, and that guy still showed up on screen, which sucks. But yeah, I mean, it totally takes you out of it because it's like it's really cringy.
But you're exactly right, Jakey. Raymond Burr is the guy who came in and said we need to take this seriously.
Yeah,
he was the one who was saying like this is about nuclear weapons and the overuse and the overstepping of military governments. And his whole monologue at the end of this movie, which I'm sure we'll talk about, is about like nature and trying to control nature and its effect on the human race as a whole. It's probably the best thing the Godzilla 1985 it brought to what is the difference between 84 and 85. The only thing that I would point to that is a positive is that monologue at the end of this film.
100%. It gives me chills, and I love the way it ends and goes right into that bum 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 bum. Goes right into the music, and it's whenever I watch Return
music
of
was great.
Yeah, the music is
great. Compliment to the music in this movie.
Yeah. But whenever I watch Return of Godzilla, it's the one thing that I'm like, kind of wish that monologue was in this version.
Yeah, we need.
There's a fan edit that does it. There's a fan edit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called The Resurrection of Godzilla, where they will splice in some of I think almost all of the Pentagon scenes, but that part into Return of Godzilla. So you get the full length of the film and all the scenes, but you add our buddy, and then at least you get the Raymond Burr thing at the end.
Yeah, the Dr. Pepper drinker.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, so real quick, we got to mention T-shirt. But do you realize, like, Jake and I wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for Dr. Pepper and Godzilla.
Yeah.
And so
we met through Dr. Pepper.
We met through Dr.
Wow.
Pepper. So,
this is there another Dr. Pepper campaign post Godzilla 85?
No. It's actually has to do with Dr. Pepper and Spider-Man.
Okay.
I worked at Keurig Dr. Pepper, and I was on their marketing team at the time, and we were doing work for to advertise the dark berry flavor, the Walmart exclusive, to tie into whatever the Spider-Man, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal, and I was doing some I wanted to get some influencer work done for those campaigns to go along with kind of our national marketing. And of course, if I'm making that call, I'm going to like the people that I like, and I think they could do a great job and get their content.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, so they filmed the Dr. Pepper stuff, and YHS did, and so I flew out to Atlanta for that one, and literally, I mean, I'd listened to the podcast. I knew Jake liked Godzilla, but like you never know, right? And we just started talking. We're like, you're the only other person I know that likes Godzilla. And I'm like, you're the only other person I know. And then
we found each other.
I know.
Yeah.
And then, but it was all because of a Dr. Pepper marketing campaign, which obviously is a huge part of this.
Yeah. Film. Well, apparently they had a $10 million campaign, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
For Godzilla 1985, and obviously
it was in Short Circuit as well, wasn't it? Didn't we just have a whole thing up in the story with Short Circuit?
Yeah, because he says I'd like to be a Pepper too. Yeah.
Actually, one of the original
Dr. Pepper's hot right
bumper
now.
Stickers. Yeah, right there for the Godzilla 1985 bumper sticker. If you can see right there, framed.
Wow! Oh, that's cool.
He's drinking a Dr. Pepper.
There was some wild Dr. Pepper Godzilla commercials.
Oh, the one with the female monster and I mean, people think Godzilla or Charles Barkley versus Godzilla or the Taco Bell stuff with 898. No, Dr. Pepper Godzilla is out there. That's the best. That is.
I'm gonna have to deep dive on some Dr. Pepper Godzilla.
Yeah.
One of the things I also wanted to mention, a big difference between the two movies is the shorter runtime. So not only did they film new scenes for Godzilla 1985, about 10 minutes of new footage, the film, even with that 10 minutes of new footage, is still 16 minutes shorter than 1984's Return of Godzilla. 1984 version is 103 minutes. And 1985 is only 87 minutes long. They couldn't even reach the hour and a half mark, 90 minutes.
We can't read, and we don't have a long enough attention.
Exactly.
They treat us so well.
Well, I guess I screwed up on the same thing. I thought it was 129 minutes, and I go, oh, shit, strap in. But it was only an hour and 29 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nope.
I misread the thing. There probably was a little colon there I missed.
And I think that's a big problem with even King of the Monsters is they just cut apart the original film. It would be one thing if they, especially with 85, because they're really only at the Pentagon, whereas King of the Monsters, Raymond Burr is kind of traveling around to different scenes, so they're having to shoot and kind of shoehorn him into these locations. With with 85, he's in one location for the whole time. So why couldn't they do like what the fan edit does and just keep the consistency and the story, the full story of Return of Godzilla, because it would have made 85 an even better movie. Yeah. Because the way they chop it up, none of it makes sense. It just, some of the best stuff is just like gone.
Well, the whole thing is just like treating the audience like we're idiots. You know what I mean? They're like trimming things that they think are boring. They don't care about, a sequence and the kind of like flow of a sequence. And then all the added stuff, all the Raymond Burr stuff, it's just him like spoon feeding you the subtext. It's like, hey,
exactly.
You know what? I'm smart enough. I can figure out what they're trying to say without having Raymond Burr go.
But he says it much more eloquently than we can.
Yeah. I can't remember what
that whole monologue felt like it was the closing of the movie. Like it should be like the end of War of the Worlds when it's Morgan Freeman explaining what went wrong,
Yeah.
Ironically,
Raymond Burr looks exactly like Orson Welles.
Yes.
Speaking of War of the Worlds. There's
always
a moment.
Confused.
there's the moment when Godzilla is shot in the mouth by Super X and he falls into the building, and then everyone's like, all right, Godzilla's dead, we got him. And then Raymond Burr, I don't remember what he says, but it's like, he's like, there's no way Godzilla's dead, right? Like he's just we as the audience know, like, okay, we've watched only 45 minutes of this movie. We know that there's no way Godzilla's dead. Yeah.
We know the airplane didn't just kill Godzilla.
Yeah.
By shooting him in the mouth a couple of times. Yeah.
I'd be missile done. Like that was at the end credits roll.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I love the Raymond Burr line when they're like, 30 years ago, General, they never found a corpse. I'm like, well, no shit. It was the oxygen destroyer he just traded.
That's such a that is all. I've always thought that was such a weird line because, like, in the original, you watch the corpse disintegrate.
Yeah, I think we see bones though, if I remember correctly. Does it completely disappear?
The bones go away.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Go away. Yeah. So it's like, and like only the audience is seeing that, and like,
true.
None of the cast sees that. But it's just a weird line. Like they never found about. It's like, oh.
They probably saw it. He showed them the movie in the 85 cut. They just
what are you saying? This is the same Godzilla? Duh. I don't know. It's like, what the fuck?
The other funny thing I noticed is the added footage still being shorter. They also include original 1954 Godzilla footage in 85, which doesn't appear in the Japanese 84 version. So they're like, the movie's shorter, but they're adding all this footage and showing us original 1954, on a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, wait, you guys are what? Where'd this footage come from?
I know, yeah.
You're watching Godzilla right now?
It's like Spaceballs.
Yeah. Hey, Mel Brooks is turning 100 on Sunday, so everybody should wish Mel Brooks a happy birthday on Sunday. Okay. One of the
killed him, Brandon. Nice job. You just
oh my god!
Don't
say that. You don't.
Awful. 3 days shy of his.
Oh my god! Don't
talk about something else.
Everybody watch TMZ.
Okay,
Brandon, you're talking about the runtime. Did you know, like in one of the funniest things I always think about this film is, so the scene at the beginning in the boat, like with the sea louse, the Shakiris.
The best scene, in my opinion.
Yeah, in the UK version, they cut it because it was deemed too scary.
Scary.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that is so funny. Like it's just, I mean, that's one thing I think 85 did also better. I think I actually like the condensed sea louse scene because I do think
it's much longer in Return of Godzilla.
Yeah, and I think it goes a little bit long, but narrative velocity is totally subjective, but I actually didn't mind that cut. So
the
narrative velocity.
The reveal of that mummified guy, I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like it reminds me of like Psycho, but I love the colors of the mummified corpse. I love the lighting in that scene. I love him slipping on that goo before we see the giant sea louse.
Yeah. There's definitely a bunch of human death in this movie that you don't get a ton of that in other Godzilla. It's only like a select few, even though every Godzilla movie is giant monsters destroying everything.
And you assume
they don't often show the human death. So that is one of the things this movie has that's like at least setting it apart from some of the others.
Well, and obviously those guys on the boat, they weren't killed by Godzilla. They were killed by the giant sea louses, right? Like they were like the sea louse like sucked all their juices out, which is why which is cool. I love it.
And I actually, the reason I actually do agree with you, it actually is one of my favorite scenes, but not maybe for the same reasons. That like I think that's actually one of the best decisions they made in the film was to have not Godzilla kill the people. It was a byproduct of the nuclear radiation.
The radiation,
like the Lucky Dragon. It wasn't like the fishermen were killed by the testing of the bombs in Bikini Atoll. It was the radiation thing. It's like it's
the after
byproduct of it that actually kills the people of the Yahada Maru or whatever.
It's the fallout, right? Fallout
are they insinuating? Are they insinuating that the radiation is coming off of Godzilla? And that's what's growing this giant sea louse?
I always assumed those things like lived on Godzilla's body and just sprouted off.
Well, because Yeah, because I did rewatch Shin Godzilla, because that was another Godzilla movie that I had seen, but that was 2016 or whatever it came out, and the reason I saw that is because I heard the people talking that it's a Godzilla movie from the point of view of government and boardrooms and meetings, and I'm like, how can that be a good movie? And
that sounds interesting to me. The strategy of how you go after this type of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Shin Godzilla, because it's a Toho Godzilla movie. It's an official Godzilla movie, but it's from the point of view of boardrooms, essentially.
That's one of my favorites.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, Shin is one of my favorite. Yeah, because it's so weird. It is so weird, and it's like got some funny. It's like kind of funny, and the Godzilla's design in Shin Godzilla is so strange, and horrifying, and it's like silly, but also like scary to imagine being real. And he evolves into other things, and I just love how big of a swing that movie is.
He emanates radiation in that one. That's one of the effects as he's going through the city. He's just leaving behind this like radioactive material and wave, and he's got this like weird blood goo stuff that he's constantly.
Well, there's also implications that he's part human in that movie, and
that's those forward-facing eyes. I knew it.
There you go.
And then the thing that I love about about Shin too is like, even though all of that is different, it's a big swing. It still had. I mean, it is 1954 in the sense that was a commentary on how man did with the nuclear radiation. This is a commentary on the Japanese government.
Yes.
Yeah, the tsunami,
a natural disaster response.
Right.
It's using Godzilla as that metaphor.
And it's like kind of making fun of their it's like kind of making fun of their government. And
the over bureaucratized.
Yeah, exactly. Like how many meetings they have to have before they can like
we better move to meeting room B. And it's like
exactly. And it's cutting back to this like weird Godzilla like nose first going through the city, and they're like, there's nothing we can do. We got to get permission from this group before we can do this.
My one of my favorite cuts in that movie is there is a scene where the prime minister is speaking to the press, and Godzilla has only been seen in the water so far, and they're like, "Hey, don't worry, it is impossible for this creature to come on land." And then it is a
stand on
hard
his feet.
cut to Godzilla on land.
He's standing up on his 2 feet. Yeah,
it's like,
and then the prime minister's like, "I look like an idiot."
that one, the Japanese equivalent of the Academy Award for Best Film that year, like the Japan Award or whatever, just like -1 did.
Jay Ryan, it's a really, really great movie. Yeah, it's awesome. Highly recommend Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
Did anybody here see Pacific Rim?
Oh hell yeah. In IMAX, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Gypsy
Just
Danger.
Curious. It feels like other than nuclear war didn't create the thing, is more of an alien kind of deal. But the whole underwater, and it comes to Earth. Figure out the government ways to figure it out and all that.
I will never get behind the 2 people controlling one
robot.
Way.
Sure.
No way.
Sure.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
It doesn't make sense to me. I
I'll
will
get the
say
wheel, you get the pedals. Like, give me
that movie.
Like Muppet Man.
Yeah.
That movie has an original credit song. I think it's the RZA or somebody, and it's one of those songs where it's an original song.
RZA from Wu-Tang?
I think so. I can't remember specifically, but it's an original song written for the movie that is talking about things that happened in the movie. And I'm like, we need to get back to that. Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, Pacific Rim.
Got to get back in time.
Guillermo del Toro was inspired by this Japanese anime called Evangelion, which is
Shin Godzilla,
which is directed by the guy who.
So you did. That's why you planted the seed, and I was like, this sounds very similar, especially with the way it's all like, oh, we have to figure out how to handle this.
Yeah, you're right. I guess
I'm
Pacific Rim, that's what Pacific Rim is about, is it's bureaucracy and government building these giant machines to take on the kaiju that has come up from the crack in the sea.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Gabe, if you ever want to go down a Guillermo del Toro rabbit hole on fun videos, see him interacting with Ultraman monsters. Oh, it's the best.
Him and Pigmon.
Him and Pigmon. Oh my god, like he's a huge
He loves
Ultraman
kaiju.
fan. And he loves kaiju and all the alien
tell.
monsters from there. Like it's great. Yeah,
I'd love to see him with Triumph the Info comic. See how he does with him.
That guy's a real monster. Okay, one of the biggest differences between Return of Godzilla 1984 and Godzilla 1985 is the Soviet nuke launch. Because in the Japanese version, the Godzilla attacks this is not the first submarine attack. This is the second boat when he's coming to the city. He attacks this boat that has the launch codes or capability to launch the Soviet nuke up in space. And in the Japanese version, the Soviet guy, he comes in to try to turn it off. Mm-hmm. In Godzilla 1985, he has a line of dialogue that's like, I have to launch the missile. So they completely changed the intentions of this character, and from making him like a hero who dies tragically trying to turn off the launch sequence to him being like, for my country, I need to launch this nuke. Then, as we talked earlier, the U.S. launches their own counter nuke to blow it out of the sky, which does happen in Return in 84. But it's a completely
This sounds egregious.
different.
This is like Greedo shooting first, right? This is that whole.
This is the Americanization of the film being like, we need to be the heroes, and it's like the Russians are the bad guys.
It's like a microcosm for everything that's wrong with this movie.
Exactly.
And the world.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, what a great idea. The two superpowers in the Cold War, and both of them do something amazing and heroic to stop this. Obviously you have this the Russian, whatever, I don't know if it was the soldier or whatever, goes and tries to stop it in this brave, heroic act. And then the Americans, of course, actually have the technology to shoot it down. But we're just gonna it's like that is great and represents everything about like what the film is supposed to be, the Return of Godzilla, and then they just bastardize it. It's like Roger Corman's like, probably like, screw it, let's do this. It's one of the worst, most egregious changes in the film. It completely changes everything about the world powers at large. One of the other things I want to talk about, and I don't remember if it comes up so much in Return of Godzilla, but Jacob, connected to you and your love for Jurassic Park in 1985, they talk about the dinosaurs and the bird connection, which is, if people remember in Jurassic Park,
that's big in the book too.
Dr. Grant is laughed at for talking about his connection, dinosaurs and birds. I guess I could have done this research myself, but was that a theory that existed in the 80s? Because I only knew about it from my time watching Jurassic Park growing up.
Right. I mean,
feel like Museum of Natural History, I think they told us that they're connected with birds.
It must have been, but I think it probably wasn't until closer to Jurassic Park where it was becoming a popular, thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like you just said,
research.
Well, like you just said, they laugh at Grant. They laugh at him, but now we know that is true. You know what I mean? Like now they know that,
and now we laugh at Jurassic Park for having reptilian skin on their dinosaurs.
Exactly,
because we all know that dinosaurs had feathers. We all know that now,
right?
But I just thought it was such an interesting thing. In 85, they specifically talk about how the connection between dinosaurs and birds, which alludes to what the doctor's whole theory is leading Godzilla into the volcano by using bird call frequencies.
Which that's another thing that you'll learn about Godzilla movies is they develop these interesting ways to get rid of Godzilla that work one time, like not. Any other point in any other Godzilla film is he attracted to birds or bird noises. It is just a one movie thing. This is it.
I don't even know there are other birds in any movie other than the giant condor. But hey, I love Godzilla. franchise, but we gotta I'm glad that they corrected it because the Godzilla franchise is not known for their accurate paleontology. Like if you go back to Godzilla, I mean you have ankylosauruses or carnivorous. I forgot what other the whole thing Dr. Yamane does. So this was Dr. Hayashida was correcting a 30-year wrong at this point. So Dr. Backer, he is not, so he's good.
I'm trying to. I got a couple of things here. I mean, Super X. I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. Like,
comes back.
Oh, does it come back?
In Godzilla versus Biollante, there is the Super X2.
I've written that down. I'm watching that. Yeah. One thing that I was thinking about when I was watching these Godzilla movies is I was like, this is what I want to be watching like Sunday morning. I want to a nice day. I got my breakfast. I got my coffee, and I just want to sit and I want to watch these old Godzilla movies. So I think that's what I'm going to do until my Criterion Channel subscription.
So Brandon, on the Super X, that's actually my favorite scene in the whole film is when he pushes the building over and it crashes onto the Super X, and you just see the close up. He kind of does the snarl and stuff. Because you've seen Godzilla destroy every military vehicle in every way possible, but literally just pushing the building over on it first time. I thought that was just an amazing way. At some point, it's I'm sure in the horror genre, you got to find new creative ways to kill people, to kill the teenager, right?
Exactly.
It's hey, military
sacrifice the building.
Yeah, it's okay. He's just zoop. And when I was younger, the Super X, when I would, wear this VHS out, I love the scene where they shoot the laser or the hole in the building, and you're seeing him through the hole in the building. That was one of my favorites as a kid. Yeah.
I really liked the color of the green goo that came out of Godzilla's mouth. It was kind of like dark and it was really kind of gross. It was
it's viscous,
very viscous, very snotty. Yeah, I like that a lot. I love though that the Japanese government had this secret weird chrome bubble military program that even some of the big leaders had no idea existed, and they tease it out. They're like, "We have the Super X program. We'll tell you about it later." You're like, "Whoa, what is Super X?"
Yeah. Need to know basis.
Yeah, and then it's just this little chrome bubble that flies up.
And they in the Heisei era, they play on that a lot because you get the Super X2, but then the Mecha Godzilla that you see in the Heisei era and in the Millennium series, different ones, but they're the government building them. There's Mogera, which is a terrible one in Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. The government has all of these special robotic ways to kill kill Godzilla.
That are always garbage, kind of.
Yeah. The new variation of the Maser cannon, right? I mean, it is literally
the fire mirror.
Yeah, the fire mirror. Yeah, absolute zero. Yeah.
I loved early on too, where they don't want to cause a panic, and they want to keep it a secret, and they kill, because Goro is the guy who finds Kenny, as he's known in 85, the survivor on that ship at the beginning. He's a journalist, and he's a photographer. I guess he's out there on the boat taking photos and doing journalistic things. I don't know, but I love that they kill his story, which is a thing that I think they kind of touch on that in Shin Godzilla too, right? The first sort of when all that red goo comes through the tunnel, they're no, it can't be that. They have all these experts saying, it could potentially be this, it could potentially be that. No one is saying that it's a
don't say
giant
it's Godzilla.
Monster. Yeah, don't say it's a monster.
They keep don't they also keep him from his they don't let any of his family or anybody they lock him off into
Okamura.
That's the move.
Yeah.
What? And then Brandon, one thing as a Jake and I, we always love because his character's name is Goromaki. That he's one of 3 Goromakis in Godzilla that are all really important. So in the film Son of Godzilla, there's Goromaki, but in Shin, there's the I forgot what type of scientist he was, but it's Goromaki. So they reuse that name.
Name. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't pick that up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you watch, we watch Shin and go watch Son of Godzilla. Very similar, but you'll see Goromaki's is one of those names in Godzilla. That's an important character. His name's Goromaki.
keep that in mind.
You should.
Goromaki
was right, as Jake would know.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? I mean, ultimately, I think we're all, and maybe not you, Jay Ryan, because it doesn't sound like you watched Return of Godzilla as well, but I think everybody. I mean, just watch Return of Godzilla is essentially like you're not really missing much if you don't watch Godzilla 1985, except for that monologue.
The monologue,
so just find the monologue on YouTube after you.
It's in the beginning, right? The monologue?
No, it's the very end,
right before the credits.
Oh,
yeah, that very last monologue.
Yeah.
Oh, see, so it felt like it was missing that War of the Worlds closing Morgan Freeman monologue I was talking about earlier. I thought I thought Raymond Burr was doing it in the beginning. Man did this, and all that stuff.
Is there
nope.
Is there anything else?
Until 1986, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah. Is there anything else from the plot that we sort of need to talk about? The radiation cloud waking up Godzilla is pretty cool. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Giving him new life.
I was disappointed there was very little Pee Wee Herman in this one.
Yeah,
they need to.
I was expecting at least a tiny bit of Pee Wee Herman to roll through, but I never.
Yeah,
he comes around a building and they're filming a Pee Wee Herman movie.
Yeah, exactly. He runs through it.
Oh my god, that would be the best, dude! What a payoff that would be.
That would have been great.
Yin yang.
Yeah, it would have great. Well, hey, not Pee Wee's Big Adventure, but this does have a tie to another movie from 1985 that I don't know if it's on your sheet of movies to review, but that is the very controversial, crazy film from North Korea, Pulgasari. And the reason it has a connection to this film is, this is the short story is, I forgot which Kim Jong it was that was running it there, but Kim Jong Il was the director of like propaganda and cinema or whatever the title was, and he famously kidnapped South Korean director to make a kaiju film based on the buzz and stuff for Return of Godzilla in Japan and what they saw. But he does also abduct and keep their Teruyoshi Nakano, the special effects director for this, who was under Tsuraya, and Kenpachiro Satsuma, who was the actor who plays Godzilla in this.
The suit actor. Yeah.
So they're part of the Pulgasari.
Kidnapped these people. Yeah. Made them make a kaiju movie. And the movie's like kind of great. And
I love it.
It's weird and like it's a cult thing, and the plot is insane, and the monster Pulgasari is like a really well designed creature, but it is just like this really wild thing that happened.
Wow.
And Brandon and I talk a lot about sometimes the sets with the most stress and pressure are the ones that create the gem. Like the oyster compressing makes the pearl, right?
Yeah.
And this could be one of those cases, even though it sounds like it was under duress.
And maybe threat of life.
Yeah, right. 100%. They were him and his ex-wife, who was a famous South Korean actress at the time, were like literally like in like a prison in their dungeon, whatever the appropriate term is. There's a whole book.
I'm sure they were treated well while they were there, but I'm sure it was, if you don't do what we say, you will. Not
right.
And they, and so Pulgasari, the North Korean film, there's a lost film from South Korea called Bulgasari with a B, based on the similar like folklore. Once again, totally lost. And then they made it. I don't know if it was UK or American. They did a version of it.
Gilgamesh.
Yeah. Oh, I have that.
Yeah, that's based on the same like legend that Pulgasari is based on.
I have Gilgamesh.
I hate Smurfs.
Yeah.
Is that him? That's who you're talking about.
Right? Gargamel. That's Gargamel.
Oh, that's right.
But it's cool because one thing that you don't get a lot of in the kaiju genre, big monster movie, is like set in a period piece. It's always kind of modern or whatever because you gotta have buildings to destroy. But like that's why Daimajin, when it's in feudal Japan, is so great. But Pulgasari is set back then, so it's very cool.
Really, it's quote unquote civilized man that's the problem, right? Because like farmers and people who aren't fighting and
we've been shitty for a long time, and that's what this movie shows us. Yeah.
Right.
There's other ways to awaken the monster other than
it's our fault. Come on, man.
Man, it's the monster.
I don't think so.
Did you miss
as
the
Americans?
At the end?
But as Americans, how can we make ourselves the hero?
Yes, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
How can we solve the problem?
Yeah, that was all cool, but didn't you see that we blew the other nuke out of the sky? Do you remember that?
While drinking a Dr. Pepper in the most tense
Yes,
scene
exactly. Exactly. Oh my God, the egregious sip of the Dr. Pepper.
He did warn us that might not work. They've never been used this way.
Offensive missile?
He's like, they've never been used.
Pulgasari, actually go watch it. It's great. And there's I forgot the name of the book. There's a fascinating book that tells the whole account of what really happened to make this film. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I definitely would check that. I wrote it down. Well, okay. Well, I think we've kind of hit all of the history of the films. We've really, I mean, there's not a heck of a lot of plot, right? We got a couple of, we got to get rid of Godzilla. He destroys
here. How do we get rid of him?
Exactly. All right.
It's not dissimilar to Jurassic Park, right? Because either way, man creates dinosaur.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're basically the same movie.
Yeah,
same
Godzilla
movie.
Finds a way.
Does Michael Crichton get a license for this?
All right, so
movie. Spared no expense.
Yeah, the Japanese government.
Can you imagine?
Super X was actually just the Ford Explorer the whole time.
Exactly.
The
voice you're hearing
they should have
is Richard
out a way
Kiley.
to amusement park this guy.
Yeah. Who is this film's Mr. DNA though? That's what I want
to
know.
Oh my God, where's the dino DNA?
It's the sea
from your blood.
Yeah.
It's the louse.
Hey, that 16-foot Godzilla, is that one of those autoerotic
No, there are no animatronics. Oh God, so good.
That is a line from Jurassic Park that I remember being much older and it clicking with me, that joke. When I was a kid, I never got it. Autoerotic.
You weren't hanging out in the
No, I was a child.
Oh, that's right.
I was
before he met Ryan Dole.
Before Ryan Dole taught me what an autoerotic thing is. All right, so
the asphyxiation part is where it gets weird. That's where it gets dangerous.
Godzilla 1985 comes out August 23rd, 1985.
And thank God for that.
It opened on only 235 screens, only played for 3 weeks, and made $2.4 million. New World bought the distribution from Toho for $500,000 and spent $200,000 on Pentagon and Dr. Pepper for a total of about $700,000, and then spent $2.5 million on marketing. So their budget, New World's budget for Godzilla 1985 is $3.2 million. Now, the film only makes 2.4 at the box office, but home video, 1986, New World drops the VHS home video release of Godzilla 1985, and it becomes at the time their most successful home video release, and they made over $7 million just in that first year of home release. Yes,
that's
just on VHS alone. Yeah,
right. That's not domestic. That's international.
No. That's America.
Because it's only a domestic release.
It's only a domestic release. Yeah.
It's got to be a record, right?
I mean, they were $80 tapes at that time, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right.
But still, I mean,
exactly, like a return on their investment, right? Oh,
that one is for your video store.
Oh, dude, that rules. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It's got the
Godzilla 1985.
Yep.
The legend is redone. Is that what it says?
Cardboard
reborn.
Standing.
Oh, Reborn. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one thing actually. While you have that, let's talk about this because I forgot to bring this up. This was supposed to be the first thing I was going to talk about, but we got way too into it. I wanted to show these. So here is the Godzilla 1985 poster on the left-hand side, and then the Return of Godzilla poster on the right-hand side. And one of the, it's relatively the same image. You can see the Super X on there. Godzilla is
satellite and the jets.
But there's no Russian nuke on the American poster.
Where is it on the Japanese one?
So the Japanese one, you might have to make, I don't know if your StreamYard, you might have to make it full screen because it's I can do, let me take this out. Maybe you'll see it better. Right where
right under the satellite.
Yeah, the top right corner is the.
Oh, I do see it. It's above the jets,
the Soviet
the satellite.
nuke satellite. Yeah, and
so all of that artwork's gone.
Yeah, they took those two. What are they? Missiles or whatever, or jets on the right hand side. Those are gone too. But it's a little conspicuous that the Soviet nuke satellite is missing from the American poster.
And they have to add the copy of Fire Breathing Monster, which obviously he doesn't spit fire because we're too stupid to understand atomic breath or radioactivity or anything like that. So another shot.
They also had to define his nose in the 1985 poster. I don't know why they do that. It's the same image of Godzilla, but like,
oh my gosh,
look at his nostrils. Why does?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. And they completely,
it's a shadow on the one side and they accentuate it on the other. Yeah. Right.
He has no real highlights on him, but yeah, it's weird that it's the exact same photo. So it's
you're right. He's a little fangier too, isn't he?
It's just darker. I think the contrast in his mouth allows his fangs. Because I'm pretty sure on the Japanese poster he has the same. Oh no, maybe they did change the fangs. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
He just it looks like the nose. It looks like they're accentuated, like somebody painted in just a little bit more.
And the fangs themselves are a controversial choice because that was them going back to that's the first time he had them since Godzilla Raids Again in '55. So that was a big choice too to have the big canines out there.
Yeah, he's scary.
He is scary.
This has a couple quotes on it.
Yeah.
And one of the quotes is Godzilla.
I hope one's from Roger Ebert.
One's from Siskel, and then one's from Peter Stack. And the one from Stack says, Godzilla makes Rambo, Eastwood, Bronson, and Schwarzenegger look like mere swizzle sticks.
Must have been a popular toy in 1985. Or a snack? I don't know what swizzle sticks are.
It's what you stir your drink with. It's what you stir your drink with.
Oh, like those old coffee straws?
When you make a cocktail and you stir your drink, it's a swizzle stick.
Oh, a swizzle stick. Okay, Jacob, what is the quote from Siskel on there? Because we're going to talk about Siskel and Ebert later.
It says, "The best Godzilla in 30 years, hysterical fun."
That is insane. Oh, okay. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Hysterical?
I think somebody kidnapped Gene Siskel to get that quote.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
The one of Godzilla fans, the critic that we hate the most on this film is Leonard Maltin because he was like, "It's too straight to be funny." Like proof that he probably did not watch it. He thought it was like the same tone as the 70s when they just continued it, and he was like, "It's just not a very good comedy. It's just too straight to be whatever." And it's like, not supposed to be.
Who said it was
not supposed to be? Yeah,
you missed the mark, Leonard.
Yeah.
Also, happy 100th to Leonard Maltin like a week ago, right?
Wow.
Oh, really? I missed that.
I'll confirm it.
Godzilla 1985, only 2.4 million at the box office, makes $7 million on home video. In comparison,
75. Sorry, guys, 75 years old.
Okay,
but it was his birthday the other day.
Because I just saw a video of him and I was like, "There's no way
couldn't be 100. That's not possible." No, I'm sorry, it's not possible.
Return of Godzilla 1984 makes $14 million comparatively. Converted from yen. On a $6.25 million budget. Part of the reason why we don't have an official release of Godzilla 1985 past VHS. We've never got a DVD or any sort of, like, it's not on a Criterion channel. It's not a special feature on a Criterion disc, is because apparently New World Pictures used music from a Canadian film called DEFCON 4. And that is the reason why the music licensing, the music permissions is the reason why it's held up in sort of rights issue and hasn't had an official release since that original 85 or 86 home video release.
Why is a Canadian company using an American defense term as the name of their production company?
I don't know.
Like, going back to War Games and John Badham, like DEFCON is defense condition, and that was a 5-to-1 scale in War Games, and it's still used today for the American system anyway.
I don't know what we use in Canada.
Huh.
I'm not in those rooms.
See, I personally know Ali Sheedy now. So
Raymond Burr was.
Yeah, he was clearly in that room.
Yeah,
but he did not drink the Dr.
He did
Pepper.
not drink the Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
no.
You're right.
He said, no, I'll walk in front of the vending machine, but I will not drink the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious. Oh, hey, can I highlight one of the comments? Because it has ties into the movie.
Oh, I flipped the screen.
Yeah, Justin Scard says he's going to go home and watch Kurosawa's Ron, because 1985 and, whatever. The importance of Kurosawa's Ron and Kagemusha, for that matter, for this is working on those films. That's why Ishiro Honda turned down directing this, and Koji Hashimoto got the gig because he was helping Kurosawa on those two films in 1984, 85. So that film right there has a tie to Godzilla 1985. We would have got the original director possibly had it not been for those great Kurosawa films.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Justin, you can come on for Rand, because I did not know who was going to be our guest for that, because you can definitely be on there for that.
Justin was also our first super chat donation we've ever had. That's cool. So look, our show's making money.
Justin.
We're professional podcasters.
Yes, $4.99. Hey, and guess what? That's $4.99 US, baby. Hell yeah.
That's right.
Well, thanks YouTube for turning that $4.99 into $2.99.
Yeah.
Hey,
thank you, Justin. Everybody, we're going to roll it right back into the show.
It's just like the home video release. Godzilla 1985
we're going to invest it right back into the show.
Hey, I'm gonna buy a new pen with that money, Justin, because seriously, literally doing the notes for this film, my pen that I love ran out, and so I'm using some like thin Sharpie thing, which I don't like writing with. So Justin, your $4.99 is going to a new nice pen for my notebook. Thank you, buddy.
And for anybody else who wants to follow suit, I'm on my third one of these. A package of these is probably $10 or $15, and I've already gone through several legal paths. So if Office Max wants to sponsor the show,
please. Oh, I don't have it. This is my second. I'm on my second notebook. I filled the notebook completely. I mean, this is episode 42.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Video Power Gaming.
Good job, Video Power Gaming.
Oh, Video Power Gaming. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. All
pen
we had
money
to do was ask for money. Who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
Thanks, Video Power. Now we both get pens. That's exciting. Pen money.
Yeah, we don't have to share them now. Thank you. We don't have to share the pen. Send it back and forth, Los Angeles to
that Canadian
British
ink's
Columbia.
weird anyway,
Okay, so the reason I wanted you to read that Siskel quote, Jacob, is because on this show, I love to go back and watch the Siskel and Ebert episodes for the films we're covering. They are, not that I agree with them all the time, but they are such a great cultural moment, and it gives you an insight on what was the current thinking, because we have a lot of hindsight, and we can respect things that are made in the past and kind of maybe forgive them for a few things, but
it's 40 years later.
Exactly.
They were doing it today.
Exactly. They hated this movie so much. The episode opens up with Siskel going, Godzilla 1985 is dull. That's the first thing he says. So how much did they pay him to put on a positive quote?
Nicole taught me the trick on this, you guys. They just have to use the words. So if at any point, what did Gene Siskel start with? Because I think that started with the same words. Godzilla 1985 is, and he did actually say that. And if it's somewhere else in this article, he writes the word awesome, They have the right to use it.
It is not hysterical fun. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Not hysterical fun.
Yeah. Nicole,
Well, you
my
should
goodness,
tell
told me all that bullshit.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you
I
right
would
now.
like to go and see what they say about some other Godzilla movies too, and see if there's any that they liked.
I bet you Kyle Watts was paying Siskel to say things, because $19,
God.
Kyle. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Jay Ryan,
Kyle
get a better pen than Brandon. All right.
Kyle Watts TV, you're awesome. By the way, Kyle Walton is Kyle Watts. Whatever, I had to figure that the other day.
Kyle Watts was with us in Astoria. Thanks
and
again for the
Andrea,
gifts.
They did the cosplay.
Yes. Okay,
The best
Jay,
wolf and boof I've ever seen.
you can get a better pen than me.
Well, now $20, I might want something else. Let me think. I better go shopping in the office supply catalog. What if I need a pencil sharpener?
Both Siskel and Ebert did not like this film. Ebert says the dubbing is deliberately bad as an in-joke. He believed that the dubbing was part of the joke. Raymond Burr must have shot everything in 2 hours, is what he said, and he's not wrong.
That's about right.
He nailed that one. But yeah, obviously they both gave it thumbs down, and that's why I'm just so shocked that he has a positive credited quote on that that
weird
counter standee.
Can we what does the standee say again?
It says, "The best Godzilla in 30 years, ... hysterical fun."
No, that's somebody else. That's a misadventure.
That's Godzilla film in 30 years. This is not. It is not hysterical fun.
I'm gonna take everything I said out. That's a whole different. Nobody could miss. That's not him. That doesn't even sound like him on a good day, high on morphine.
There's I'm trying to remember the name of it, but there's a Tom Hardy movie where he plays like twins. Is it called like Legend or something? Or it was from a couple of years ago, and they had this poster, and it was the two Tom Hardys on the poster, and all the stars, 4 stars from all the different critics, newspapers, and all that kind of stuff. And the whole poster was filled with all these stars credited to all these critics. And they purposefully hid a 2-star review behind their heads. So in between their heads. So it looked like it was a 4-star, but it was a 2-star review. And I think it was, I don't remember who it was, but I think they wanted that name on the poster.
Of course.
So in the graphic design between both of the Tom Hardy heads, they put the 2 stars. So it looked like in a collage of all the other 4-star reviews, this 2-star looked like a 4-star review.
Genius.
You are nailing the dishonesty I was talking about earlier that Nicole was teaching me. Awful, but hey, what they can do.
But hey, as fans of Godzilla and really these films, especially with American critics, bad reviews are something that we're just kind of used to. Like that's
when
Godzilla -1 got in the U.S. audiences. Shin Godzilla obviously got great in Japan, got amazing reviews and won the biggest award they have. But when Godzilla -1 started getting those reviews here domestically, or really just in North America, really, like that was like, what? Like this is like an amazing time for us. So that was
recognition.
The first time it's like, oh, it's I hate when they say this, but like it's a real movie. Like there are other movies that are real, but like it's getting that credit, there is something to be said for that. And this one obviously was not the one to do that.
Yeah.
Going back to the beginning of the podcast, this is how I felt about the filming locations. Like it was just me and my little friends who knew about that whole thing. And then now it's the whole world is into it. And you kind of feel validated that you weren't wasting your time as a kid. Even if you didn't have a camera, you just wanted to go stand there.
Yeah. Finding your people.
Yeah. And it sounds like if the world is catching up to Jay, I mean, then it's very similar.
Yeah.
That's how we like to say it, at least.
The world's catching up to Jay. That's right.
Yeah.
I can't praise Godzilla -1 enough. Like as a I wouldn't even call myself like a casual Godzilla fan. I just know of Godzilla. I've seen a couple of the big movies. I've seen lots of clips, but when I knew that movie was going to be cool. And it completely blew me away. I remember coming home and telling my wife, being like, I can't believe that I was just like crying in a Godzilla movie. Like it just kind of
wow.
Yeah, it's a really powerful movie.
I mean,
and on top of it,
cried Men in
Godzilla
Black
looks
3.
cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. People haven't seen, and a sequel's coming out, and it won the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. Godzilla minus one.
First official Academy win.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. Like, me and Jay have talked about this before. When we were both kids and we were obsessed with Godzilla, like, I didn't know anybody who watched Godzilla, and it was to the point where it felt like there was some sort of joke, being played on me, and I'm like, you guys don't watch Godzilla? Where's the Godzilla movies? Where's the Godzilla toys? There's nothing. Nobody knows what you're talking about. And then to, like, slowly, as you get older, you start to find the audience. More movies come to you. More movies are showing up in America. And now, to live now in 2026, where there is a Godzilla movie winning an Oscar, and everybody who's never heard of a Godzilla movie before are like, did you see -1? And I'm like, yes, I've been trying to fucking tell you about this
30
years.
Yeah.
And it's great. It is. Yeah. It feels great, whenever it's like, it's good now. Everybody likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a whole genre now. I mean, it's like, oh yeah.
Because I mean, I'll be honest, like, watching Godzilla 1985 or any other, like, single Godzilla movie, someone who's like an adult and they just say, I'm going to watch a Godzilla movie for the first time, you almost have to be prepped. You know what I mean? Like, you almost have to take it in the context of, okay, this is part 20 of 40 and it's going to be weird. And, like, some of these movies, none of us would watch and say, yeah, that's a good movie. Oh. But, like, in the context of Godzilla and tokusatsu and the whole genre, it, like, means something. But it's hard to just come into that and be like, what did I just watch? But -1 did that. So
helps you respect the whole idea.
Yeah. And
the franchise.
To your point, Jacob, like, that's a great entry point. -1 is a modern movie that has modern, amazing Academy Award winning visual effects in it. It's a great story. And there is people, just like you were saying, who are coming into it and going like, wow, this is great. Like, what else is there? And then hopefully they do the research and they start to find what they like in the, the previous 39 films that exist. They're going to look at maybe some monster designs and go like, okay, I like Rodan. I like Biollante.
Nobody says that. Nobody says
okay.
Nobody
all right. I think Rodan's cool. What is he, fog or what is he? What is he actually supposed to be?
Rodan?
Rodan is
like
just
like
like a giant pterodactyl.
Oh, then I'm thinking of what's the one that's like the gray blob?
Oh, you're thinking of Hedera, the smog monster.
Yes, smog. That's what it is. Yeah, Hedera.
That's the Bono film.
That's a very popular one. A lot of people really love that movie.
But hey, Rodan, the film Rodan, which is Toho's first ever film in color, 1956. That movie, it's just Rodan. There's no Godzilla. It's a standalone film for him. It's a really good film.
Yeah, it is good.
Great Kenji Sahara's in it.
That's another thing. Like, these Godzilla movies, like, it's like the MCU almost. Like, Godzilla had his own film. Mothra had her own film. Rodan had her own film. There's Varan. There is Frankenstein Conquers the World, which has monsters in it that, appear other places. Like, and then they all meet in Godzilla movies. So it's like they had a universe going.
Yeah.
Back in the
late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
Early 60s, I guess. Technically, that was what was so cool about it. It's like this idea was done a long time ago and better.
Yeah. Well, and I know for me, like, one of the things is when I was watching the 54 and even Return, there was an aspect of the music. Like, I know the dun dun right? But I was like, where is the bum, like the bum 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 bum, like that didn't show up. So I had to look it up. And it's first used in like Godzilla versus Mothra or something. 1992 is what, and so it's like, okay, that's one that I want to watch because that was an aspect that I knew about Godzilla, was that secondary Godzilla theme that didn't show up in these earlier movies. But now I'm like, oh man, I got to watch some Godzilla movies with that secondary theme, because it shows up, in Godzilla -1. And it was like one of the things that when I was watching the movie, I saw it in D-Box because I wanted to feel the vibration of those steps. But I was like in the theater and hearing that bum, 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 bum. And I was like, this is what I get excited about, is this Godzilla theme. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And it's so simple.
Yeah. Those two main Godzilla themes are used one or the other in almost every Godzilla movie. There are a couple exceptions. But most of the time you're hearing them. That's one of the things that to me is so weird about the MonsterVerse movies. And the second one, King of the Monsters, they used the original Mothra theme. They used the original Godzilla theme. And to me, it like brought that movie to a completely different level. But then the next movie doesn't use it again. So you're like, oh man. They even in -1 has -1. I don't know why they chose this. It doesn't make any like thematic sense to what you're watching, but towards the end of that film, there is a like new version of a song from the original King Kong versus Godzilla, and it's the song that like the natives sing to try to get King Kong to go to sleep. And I'm like, why is this in -1? It's so weird.
For the fans.
The music in the Godzilla franchise. I mean, like, for whatever people's view on Godzilla is in these films, I mean, it's the equivalent of, they have the Japanese John Williams. That
I was about to say he's like, he was like
totally.
John Williams.
Yukube, and even when he doesn't do one, like you think of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 74 when Sato does it. Oh my gosh, it's this very different, funkier,
it's like funky.
Yeah, it's very 70s, but like the Mechagodzilla theme moment, the scene when he is revealed as Mechagodzilla, that is like, for people that like music and the score of cinema, like chef's kiss. Like it is phenomenal.
Yeah. But none of that is in Godzilla 1985.
No. Hey, and also the other thing I'm pissed about in the 85, they cut Sawaguchi, so she's obviously Toho's big idol at the time. They're pushing her in the opening scene in the boat when Goramaki's coming up to the Yahuda Maru. Like her song that is like on the charts at the time or whatever.
Yes.
But, he's listening to it, but they cut it because they want to push Sawaguchi's. Yeah. My girl.
Let's transition because I want to talk about this. We sort of alluded to it when we were talking about Cybot, but you guys have a new project.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okashii Station is relatively new. Am I correct? And you guys are making collectibles based on this universe that we've been talking about the whole evening. And you guys have announced a couple of things that are coming out. We have Iceberg Kaiju on the left-hand side there, and then Jumbo Cook, which I don't know what Jumbo Cook's from, but I like it.
Jumbo Cook is badass.
He kind of looks like he's got the shape of the 16-foot robot. He's got that thing in the front.
Yeah. Jumbo Cook is from a great movie called Monster Seafood Wars, and there is I don't know where in Tokyo, but in Tokyo there is like the bust of this giant chef sticking out of a building, and after it was created, there were like jokes that inside the building it was hiding a mech to fight kaiju. So then for the movie, they just like ran with that idea.
Cool.
And that's Jumbo Cook. And we got the license. We have made the first ever official Jumbo Cook.
That's so cool.
Figure. Yeah.
We worked with the famed director. He's known for doing like low budget indie kaiju parodies. In Japan, his name's Minoru Kawasaki. And he's great. And he gave us the license to do the first, like I said, Jake said, the first officially licensed Jumbo Cook Sofubi toy out there. So obviously it'll be painted and stuff when we have a first release, but that will be officially licensed by Rivertop. And we hope to maybe do more of the Kaiju and Monster Seafood Wars maybe down the line. Can
you just quickly explain for the uninitiated what Sofubi is, what that type of toy is?
Do it, Jay.
Yeah, so back in the late 60s, you could argue one of the first toys, action figure type toys there ever were these soft vinyl toys released in Japan. The Godzilla license, the Ultraman license were really big. So, it started in like 1966 and they've never stopped being popular, but ultimately they're all handmade in a traditional Japanese sofubi style, which is using slush molding or roto casting to be able to hand make all these toys. They're all hand painted, usually by airbrush, by these people that have studied sofubi techniques for years and years and years. You enter it through like apprenticeships and things like that. And the style of toy, or the process of sofubi has kind of become its own genre of toy. In the US and North America, we call them designer vinyl toys. That is a offshoot of sofubi done with a different process. So all of these, like I said, they're all made in that roto casting slush mold style. And they're amazing, fun, cool toys of original concepts, kaiju, other things. I mean, there's Star Wars sofubi out there. There's Batman and stuff sofubi out there. And it's just a very popular, cool art toy as opposed to, mass-produced action figures, which nothing wrong with those as well. We love those.
Yeah.
But it's more of a new medium for artists to be able to do their designs and their sculpt in this style. And obviously it took the US by storm as designer vinyl with Metacom and Bear Brick and all of that good stuff. But, Kid Robot.
Yeah, I guess Bear Brick is a sofubi. I've never realized that. Yeah, because it's the same mold with all of the different colorways and paintings and all the theming and everything, but it's that same Bear Brick. Yeah. I've never made that connection.
Sofubi's great, and like I said, it's been popular for 60 years now. So it's a cool toy and or a cool way to make toys, and we luckily I become best friends with an amazing toy designer and artist named Jacob Walsh, who has designed all of these amazing toys.
Yeah, successful Kickstarter fundraiser, Cryptoids.
Two toy companies Jacob has going on right now, and
I like them too.
Yeah, and and so we're hopefully going to be expanding Okashii Station. We actually have another license. Actually, we have two more licenses. One that is about to be signed today, and one we hopefully by next week with two other film studios. One with Shochiku, which owns the rights to Gilala, or the X from Outer Space, which is a very popular kaiju. Well, maybe not very popular, but I think it is. It's my favorite kaiju. But then one with the company you guys might know as Film Buffs, with it's Celestial Pictures, who owns the library for the Shaw Brothers. So the makers of all the Kung Fu movies, who also did a great tokusatsu show movie called Inframan, which was bringing Japanese tokusatsu to Hong Kong in that Kung Fu world. And there's a show called Inframan that we are very close to securing the license to and producing so many of those. So that's the start. Yeah.
Well,
congrats.
The Okashii Station website is in the description below. You guys have an Instagram, Okashii Station with 2 eyes on Instagram. We haven't really talked about it, but Jay, you also have Toku Toy Town, which is your website where you sell all of these sofubi and all of these Japanese collectibles, and from what they're like direct from Japan, correct?
Yeah. So it started with YHS on Monster Island, and then went to Toku Toy Town. And because we were making all these connections and network in Japan with all these great people and all these toy companies, and we just started. We filled a gap here in the U.S. on a lot of the sofubi stuff
because it's hard to get.
It's hard to get,
and it's expensive.
And it's
back to the movies not even coming over till the mid 2000s, right? Just because it's overseas, for some reason it's just like, well, they don't want that over there. No, there is people who want it too.
And a lot of them, it's like you have to you have to win a lottery on a one day, the bottom basement of a secret bar in Tokyo, and you get one of 3 people. So we've developed a lot of good proxies over there, and we try to bring over some really cool pieces, and it's been great. And so from Toku Toy Town, then we launched Kaiju Go, which is the big kaiju art toy and film festival in Dallas at the Texas Theater, where Lee Harvey Oswald was apprehended. It's a great, now 2-screen 1930s theater, funded by Howard Hughes. It's one of the best. It's
very cool.
I know Criterion named it one of the top 10 art house cinemas in America. Wow. And it does our Kaiju Go event every August. And then from there, we're like, hey, we know all about toys. We're doing events for toys. We're selling lots of toys. We're going to shows across the country and bringing these toys to American buyers. let's start our own toy company.
make a
and then
toy.
Okashii Station started. Yeah.
It's a natural progression.
Yeah. So just monetize your hobbies, people. Monetize your hobbies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Good for
these
you.
are Sufubi. That's what these are. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Well, follow along if you're interested in that, because these are just what would you call these? Because they're not going to be orange.
No, so these are the test pulls. So this is just like whatever color vinyl they're using to test the first pull. But they'll all be fully painted. Yeah.
And we'll have multiple colorways, and we'll do some in translucent vinyl, glow in the dark. We'll do different variations.
Yeah, that's
a lot of
what
them.
As an outsider, that's what I know about Sufubi. Is all those crazy cool colors. That the plastic is already like those translucent, nice colors with the sparkles inside, and yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff planned, and our licenses will be required to be doing a lot of really cool figures and stuff. So we'll do lots of releases, event exclusives, that type of stuff. Well, look forward to Skinless Cybot coming from Okashii Station.
I don't think they have Cybot trademark, do they? I don't know if they have that one.
No, I bet we could do that.
Yeah,
Cybot.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I love that. That is a freaking phenomenal idea.
Yeah, and we're
welcome.
We're gonna be vending at Tokyo Toy Town's gonna be vending at G Fest in like 3 weeks.
In Chicago, yeah.
Where's that?
Chicago. G Fest is like the Godzilla Fest in the United States. It's one of, but it's like the longest running Godzilla.
Sorry. Where is it?
It's in Chicago.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. You get killing it. Who knew there was such
I love rubber-seated monsters.
Current, world around this stuff. I didn't realize that.
It's crazy.
I knew that you guys were the right people to have on this episode, and you did not disappoint. Jay Key, you absolutely you taught me so much. I'm so thankful for all that information. Jacob, obviously, it's just a treat to talk movies and have you on the show. So I'm so glad this came together and we were able to do this, because you guys are the experts as far as I'm concerned. And really, this would have been quite an undertaking for me. But you guys have all that lifelong learned knowledge, and I appreciate you sharing it with us all tonight.
Thank you. It's been really fun. I've been excited about it, and I think me and Jay learn a lot. Jay is like an encyclopedia of Godzilla and Tokusatsu knowledge.
Yeah, I can tell.
And anytime we podcast,
I thought he was making up names earlier.
I'm not.
I know. I believe you.
Real
I believe you.
I think me and Jay both have our minds both occupy different sides of the Tokusatsu space, and we learn from each other anytime we do a pod. Usually I'm learning from Jay, but
it's very symbiotic. 100%.
It's very fun. It's been very fun doing Monster Island, and I'd really been looking forward to coming on and talking about, even though this is none of our favorite Godzilla movie, it's so much
qualifies
fun to talk about.
It is a Godzilla movie. That is
a movie.
Technically it is.
It is a movie. Parts of it. No,
the title is Godzilla, so I guess
The 85 does paint us in a corner, though. I mean, it's not like Nightmare 2 or Friday 5 would have been our choices for those franchises either.
Once again, the Americans screwed that one up too. It was, Return of Godzilla, much better than Godzilla 1985.
Yeah.
I've still enjoyed the hell out of this. I didn't enjoy the movie, but I have totally enjoyed hanging out with you guys.
Good. Yeah.
The chat, by the way, Brandon, earlier. So Jason, this is 45 minutes ago. Jason said, I mowed my yard and went grocery shopping and started my taxes for 2026, and you're still live.
Hell yeah, brother.
And then Justin said, I want to call this right now ahead of time. If you get to the film Ran, R-A-N, all capitals, I'm coming on the show. 85, exactly. I'm all in.
I gave him that one.
Oh, good. Okay. And then our friend Irie is not having a great day. She's not feeling well up north. She says, popping in for a bit, having a rough night, but listening to you guys is really helping distract me at the moment. Thanks for being you and doing what you do. Thank you, Irie. Feel better.
Yeah.
And then money. People sent money, which is cool.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thanks,
thank
people
you,
sending money.
Yeah, and I saw Kip's comments on there, Kip Marshall, about Frank Kozik and bringing Medicom over. Absolutely, Frank Kozik is father of the modern, kind of the U.S. North American vinyl toy scene, and brought companies like Medicom over and got them a lot of exposure. Now you have the Tokidokis and Rokimotos and all those of the world that have come over, and but Kozik is kind of the godfather of that. So absolutely great call out.
Yeah.
Justin Scard says, "Dude, we need more. What's that? Dojeki samurai stuff in the U.S. I need more Jidageki samurai. Does that mean anything to you guys? I need more Mifune action figures.
Toshiro Mifune, yeah, it's
Mifune, sure, yeah.
Mifune. I mean, that's going to be the man, like John Wayne to John Ford is Mifune to Kurosawa. Like, I mean, he's the best. Hey, if Toho would give us the license to that and Godzilla, we will make. Hey, I'll do one Mifune to one Godzilla every time. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Toho has not been Toho has not been the most responsive on that, but we're working on it.
Well, so I from from outside, I look at like Bandai.
Yeah,
like they're not Safubi, but
no.
I feel like Bandai is putting out the most Godzilla stuff that I've seen, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like Bandai's like the base level. You know, it's like where a lot of people's collections of Godzilla start. Yeah, it's like cheaper, more easily accessible.
I see.
They make a ton of it. Yeah, and they make a ton of it. So
yeah, but they've had the license since 1983, and they're very important. Like, you can't tell the story of Godzilla Collectibles without Bandai. I mean, they're that important. Every kid's first Godzilla toy is most likely.
And I did see one that I think is 84 and it comes with a Super X.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
A little Super X on like a little floating stand. So it's like hovering at the right height compared to Godzilla.
Well, Brandon, no, go ahead and write it down. When Jake and I go up there to pay our respects to Raymond Burr in Vancouver, I will bring you some Godzilla toys. So
we'll bring you some.
Hell yeah. Nice. I'll never say no to toys.
I know, right?
Brandon, if you watch Godzilla versus Biollante,
so good.
It is my favorite Godzilla movie out of all of them.
The plant monster, right?
It is the plant monster.
Audrey too?
Yeah.
Basically. I think it's the coolest villain of all time. Godzilla has the best like entrance in that movie. And what's really funny is like we talked about it a little bit, but Godzilla 1985, the ending is like, it's so sad.
Yeah.
You know, Godzilla is falling into this volcano. There's screams. There's the voiceover. But then, like, Godzilla versus Biollante starts, and they're like, hey, Godzilla's fine. He is made of fire. The lava does nothing. He's just living there. He can come out whenever he wants to. And
is that true?
That's how, I mean, Godzilla versus Biollante starts, and they're like, hey, Godzilla's still alive in there. He's just living in that volcano now. And at one point, they're like, he's probably going to come out of there. And then one day, he's just like, all right. And he just gets up and gets out of the volcano.
Wants a drink of water, so he comes back to fucking...
He just gets out. And I'm like, that's so funny.
He's like a walking Deus Ex Machina. Like, there's nothing that he can't... There's
nothing that's going to stop him.
The explanation is, it's Godzilla. You know, he can do anything.
Because nuclear bullshit caused him. Right, exactly. Yeah.
Invincible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's what's great about the series. It's like you can never rule anything out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the last sort of show thing we have to do around here is we got to rate the film. Our rating system is out of 5 stars because that's what Letterboxd uses. I want to specify we are rating Godzilla 1985. We are not rating the return of Godzilla. I can go first if you like, or Jay Ryan, do you want to go first?
I'm happy. I thought I'd go last, so I'll go first. Sure. Look, for me, it's 2 stars. This is not my genre. I didn't think it was awful. I really didn't. Like, there was stuff about it I enjoyed. I mentioned the miniatures, like the music was great. Like, this was a highly produced piece of art. I liked all of that, but meanwhile, it's not my genre. I had a hard time following it, so I'm saying 2 stars. I have a feeling if it kept my attention more, I probably would have maybe enjoyed it. Like when I looked at it, when I heard an explosion or something, and I'd look over and I'd see what was going on or whatever. Like I was, into the moments, but it just didn't hold me. It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. I mean, not even a little bit. Now, I mentioned I've had a problem with this genre before. I didn't watch the Matthew Broderick one either because I just started and just couldn't get. Whoo!
And that's a long movie too, though.
It is.
Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie
about it.
So
it's like
long.
2 hours.
I mean, it's 2.5 or something. I've gone back to thinking
long.
about. I'd try it again, and I look at it. I'm like, nope, not gonna.
If I had to rank
39 minutes.
Yeah.
If I had to rank all of like 38 movies that exist, and you told me which one to tell somebody to not start with, it would actually be that one. So that does not surprise me.
That was my first one.
Yeah,
I mean, if you don't count Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah,
way better.
That's more of a Godzilla. Well, that's more of a Godzilla movie than Matthew Broderick's
98 Matthew Broderick.
Awesome. Because I enjoyed it more also.
Yeah. If you don't, you check your brains,
Jacob, your rating for Godzilla 1985.
Man, it's a little hard to rank this movie because like when I was a kid, I watched this so much. Like there were like only like 4 or 5 Godzilla movies that were accessible, and you just watched them over and over. And that was before I could really tell this is not a great movie. Mm-hmm. If I'm ranking it now in the canon of 40 Godzilla films, I'm probably giving it 2 stars, 2.5 stars. Like, it's Godzilla 1985. What can I say? It's a worse version of a much better movie. So yeah, that's
it's the worst version of a much better movie. That's also kind of a worse version of another movie. It's
exactly like
amazing.
I mean, like even the Return of Godzilla, even though it's better, it's still not in my like top half of Godzilla movies.
And this is a copy of a copy.
Yeah, so like it's still gonna get, even though I have some fond memories of it and I like to revisit it here and there, it does have some cool shots. It has some like iconic Godzilla shots in it and things that will be burned in my brain forever, but it's just not good.
Yeah. So that's 2 or 2.5?
I'm gonna say 2.
Okay.
Hey Brandon, what's your letterbox handle? Justin.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do that after.
Oh, well, Justin's asking now.
It's Brandon Mindell. It's just my name.
Do you remember if mine's Late Night Playset or if it's Porsche Life or if it's?
I thought it was just Jay Ryan, to be honest.
Okay, awesome. And I'm Jay Ryan, Justin.
Jay Key, your review out of 5 stars for Godzilla 1985.
I'll kind of start with like Jacob said, in the pantheon of Godzilla films and kind of that spectrum. I would say Return and thus Godzilla 1985 even being worse was really at the bottom of my list.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not the bottom. So like there are and once again, same thing as Jake, same story. Worn out as a kid of VHS. Like I have so many memories of watching it, and I do like some of the shots. I really do. I actually like the human characters, especially in the Japanese version. But like, it's hard with the dubbing. Like I think that it was always like what's grown on me over time. But the bastardization of it is just too hard to look past. Like to me, like I'll give it a 2 because 1.5 to 2. I'll give it a 2. Let's say just because Godzilla I think has a floor of a 2. For me, and there's only like 3 of his films that fall below it, but it is lower quarter, like it's the bottom quartile in Godzilla, and 85 like makes a okay movie even worse. So I'll say 1.5. I'm trending to 2. I'm in a good mood, so I'll say 2.
Well, I'm not going to bury the lead here. I am a 2 as well because
is this the first time this has happened?
I think this is the first time that's on a 4-guest episode or a 2-guest episode we are all in agreement because I gave Return of Godzilla 3 stars and a heart because I did like it. Yeah. But and even without my experience in watching other Godzilla movies, I've seen some of the ones that are considered the later good ones, Shin and -1. So I knew where my 4 and 5 star movies are. So Return of Godzilla had lots of elements that I did like. But yeah, this bastardization, as Jay Key said, of Return of Godzilla for Godzilla 1985 is 2 stars. And frankly, the reason it sits at 2 stars is because of all the footage of Return of Godzilla. Like,
and a monologue. Yeah, and a good monologue.
Monologue, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to like, obviously it's 10 minutes of footage, but all of that American footage is so bad. It doesn't even have the same
propaganda. Is it propagandized even? Would you go so far as
maybe you could say that the same way that like Rocky 4 is propagandized, right?
I would say that. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
But when it cuts to the Pentagon, it's not even like the same kind of like filmmaking.
So clearly it's a different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is that like some of the other Godzilla movies that aren't great movies, they either have like this really nice charm to them, or maybe they have a particular kaiju that's really weird and fun, even if the movie's bad. But this movie doesn't really have that. It's like kind of bland all the way through. And it's like, you know, I know it's the first time Godzilla looked like this, and that's kind of an important thing, but it's the worst version of the Heisei Godzilla. And it's like, I don't know. It doesn't have that charm that some of the other movies might have, even the bad ones.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing, Return can get away with that because you're never taken out with those Pentagon scenes. Like you feel like you're in the world the whole movie, right? Like you feel like you're watching the same movie.
Cohesive, right?
Like
a real movie, as you would say.
Yeah. Even if you don't like it, like at least. Like,
I mean, hold on? Can you? Sorry to interrupt you, but could you imagine if you saw -1 with American bullcrap added into it?
Drinking
like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Iron Man flies by.
It would suck.
Yeah, it's like it's just so jarring. I think that's the thing. It's like it's bad acting, yes, but guess what?
It's so unnecessary.
In the Heisei era, they use a lot of American actors, and I swear to God, they find the worst American actors from like regional community theater in Davenport, Iowa, to fly them out there and apparently have this speaking role.
It's so weird.
They're so bad.
Sorry to all our listeners in Davenport, Iowa.
I know, right? Yeah.
Who have been in these Godzilla movies?
Who love Godzilla movies.
But
hey, what?
They're so
He's talking about us. I'm gonna write a letter.
Hey, they're in a Godzilla movie, so they jokes on me, right? But like those are so bad. But like you at least stay in the world. These are bad, and like you bitch, Brandon, I can't believe it's the first time we said like it looks like it's a different movie. Like it's just the film, and that's where it's like. Guys, like stop.
There was a disjointed element that I felt as well during this. It was a roller coaster.
Even in like we sort of talked about the tone, but like our first introduction to that Pentagon scene is the general like walking in complaining about having to leave the golf course, and you're like, oh my, like one, it's like the most cliche joke ever, and two, it's just like. What? This is a Godzilla movie. People are dying. Okay,
it goes from the same studio that has done. You go Toho and or is it Kurosawa, Godzilla, and then it goes to like an asylum film, and then it goes back. to the regular.
Exactly.
Like,
yes. Yeah. Okay. So normally I do this before our ratings, but I forgot. I'm rusty. We've been off for a week. I did pull a couple of reviews from Letterboxd I wanted to read. This is Will says recut of the sequel that is a sequel to the recut of the original. 3 stars.
Oh, all of that and 3 stars?
Yeah.
Pick a lane, buddy.
Alistair says, if it's called Godzilla 85, why is it 87 minutes long? 2.5 stars.
Worst. That's the worst. That's the worst connection I've ever heard in my life.
I love Letterboxd.
Godzilla is 16 feet tall. Why isn't it I mean, that's just pick an arbitrary number.
And there wasn't a lot of good ones on Letterboxd. A lot of people just complaining about how bad the movie is and that you should just be watching Return of Godzilla. Yeah. And actually, a lot of people being like, I somehow accidentally watched this. It was weird. There wasn't a lot of jokes, but here's the last one from Chris. It says, best enjoyed with a cool, refreshing Dr. Pepper. 3 stars.
Slowly, really slowly.
Really slowly. With the label turned out.
Oh, yeah.
Glistening.
I'm a pepper. You're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Godzilla's a pepper, too.
I know. It's like...
Oh, I did forget one thing. I didn't talk about the actors who dubbed for the American version, because the actor who voices Goro in the American version is Tony Plana, who people may know him from 85 episodes of Ugly Betty. He plays Ugly Betty's dad, but he's also plays America Ferrera's dad in Superstore. He's in Three Amigos. He has like 230 film and TV credits. He's in The Punisher. He's in Only Murders. He's in an episode of Seinfeld. He's in a bunch of episodes of 24. When I saw his face, I was like,
Seinfeld
I know
is the
that
only
guy.
thing I've seen that you've mentioned. Which episode of Seinfeld?
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Which Seinfeld episode?
He's in the episode of The Apartment when Elaine wants to move upstairs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so who is he? The super? No, that's Otho from Beetlejuice.
A character named Manny or something. I didn't remember him specifically in the episode. I remember the episode because that's the one where George gets the wedding ring.
And it ends up with the band moves in upstairs. Yeah, it's too much. It should have had Elaine move in. Yeah,
but I just like he's a working actor still to this day. But he was just the American dubbed voice for that. And then
in my mind, that character is Otho from Beetlejuice. Is the super in that show? Isn't he?
Hangs out with he's the co-manager.
Oh, next to Otho.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, did you look him up?
Helper.
I'm looking him out.
Amazing. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then Naoko is voiced by a woman named Lara Cody, who is a big time voice actor, but she's also the narrator of Hell Comes to Frogtown, which obviously she got that gig from the director. She's in Rover Dangerfield, the Rodney Dangerfield animated movie. She's in Paranorman. She is the American dub voice in Akira. And then a bunch of American Ghibli movies: Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, Castle in the Sky. I just wanted to shout those people out as the American dubs. I think we did it. I think we destroyed Godzilla 1985.
I think we did, yeah.
I seriously can't thank you guys enough for coming on. Because
that was awesome.
It's been a lot of fun.
You really saved my butt on pronunciation, history, connection. I really, really appreciate it.
That's what we talk about this when we talk. It usually ends up being very similar to this conversation when Jake and I just talk normally. So it's all good.
And
I had nothing to add, so I'm really glad we had both of you guys here. Because other than my Ghostbusters knowledge, I really brought nothing to the table tonight.
Hey, but as we know, there's a Ghostbusters connection in the film.
That's right. And we got to the root of what the backwards label too.
Question: is Stay Puffed a kaiju?
So we actually did an episode. We did an episode on this one time, and it was like, we kind of thought so, but we think maybe technically he's more considered a yokai, which is a ghost.
Or a kami, not a kami. Yeah. Godzilla Dave, not that kind of kami that's probably mentioned in Godzilla 1985, but K.A.M.I. kami, which is a god, like a god.
Yeah. Are you a god?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess that does make sense because
you could call him a kaiju. I think
kaiju is gorilla whale, right?
No, that's Godzilla.
That's Godzilla.
Kaiju.
Gojira. Okay.
Yeah. Kaiju literally translates in our language to strange creature.
So that works. That applies.
And so
choose your destructor.
Yeah, and so there's a big debate. Like, it depends how like literal you want to be, but like Godzilla technically is a kaiju, but he's really a daikaiju, which is giant, big or strange creature or large strange creature. And humanoid strange creatures are commonly referred to as kaijin, but kaiju, like technically, in theory,
it's like a blanket term.
Yeah,
you just
in
use
theory,
it
like
for
if you wanted to go literal, any strange creature, a vampire could be a kaiju, but nobody actually uses it that way. It's almost like now daikaiju and kaiju are almost interchangeable.
So it's not necessarily giant is kaiju,
unless you add dai in there to be, like I said, technically this is daikaiju. Yeah. But once again, nobody will ever know that. Like, I mean, nobody will ever like really. It's like now it means basically giant monster.
Yeah.
Brandon, I 100% say yes, because I always thought that even back when I was a kid, I was like, oh, this Stay Puft thing is like a big
It's a Godzilla,
Godzilla monster walking through the city. So I say
Mhm.
yes, absolutely.
I think.
But I know nothing.
I think our debate went on like, is it actually? How do you separate it from? It
I
being
think
a
we talked
form
about
to
it
a-
for way too long. We're just like, the answer is
Like,
yes.
Is it
But
a
we talk about it for an
intrusion
hour.
in our reality of a celestial being? Therefore,
Right.
You know,
I'm probably that'll probably be the first episode of your podcast that I watch because
That was
I'm
like
totally
5 years
into,
ago. Oh my
It's
God.
I'm
all
into
yes
that
and all
debate
no.
though. I want to
Yeah.
hear the deep dive on why because I say yes too.
Yeah.
What if that's the connection? The special effects miniature team knew they got some leaked
I thought that.
publicity still of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man walking down the streets of New York,
Yeah.
and that's maybe why there's a Ghostbusters logo in return.
I thought the same thing.
Could be
That'd be great.
possible. Yeah.
Boss
But
Films,
I
baby.
love it.
Yeah,
I love that there's that weird crossover between two of my favorite things of all time, Ghostbusters and
Yeah.
Godzilla.
well,
Is Richard
and
Edlund still alive?
Jurassic Park with the dinosaur bird.
Yeah.
It's all
right
all for
on.
Jacob.
It's all.
Right on.
If it was all for me, it'd be a better movie, but but I'll take it.
Is Richard Edlund still alive? Do you guys know?
Yes,
Special
he
effects
is.
from Ghostbusters.
Yep. He was.
We should ask him.
Yeah, we should.
Or Steve. What's his name? Steve.
Oh, what is his name?
I want to say Steve Young. That's not right. Steve Foster. Steve. You guys
Steve
know who I'm
Johnson?
talking about. Steve Johnson or Steve
Yeah,
Johnson,
Steve
because both of
Johnson,
those
yeah.
guys would. Steve Johnson is probably the guy who would have leaked it. It would have been
Yeah.
Richard's company. He'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Steve would have been like, "What? These are my buddies."
They're making good movies over there.
Yeah, it's
It's
funny.
Well, Jacob and Jay, where can people find you on the internet?
I mean, I'm on Instagram at Jacob the Revenge, but like YHS on Monster Island, you can find all of our mini shows and stuff through there, and then Okashii Station.
Yeah, and I'm at Toku Toy Town on Instagram and TokuToyTown.com if you want to buy some Sofubi. Or if you're in Dallas, and you want to go to KaijuGo.com.
Yeah, Toku Toy Town's in the description below. Check it out. There's
Cool.
a lot of cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
Jay Ryan, where can people find you?
Thanks for asking, Brandon. Well, currently they can find me looking up Tokyo Toy Town. I'm trying to look up Tokyo Toy Town so I can follow him.
Toku Toy Town.
Toku, thank you. Toku
Mhm.
Toy Town, not Tokyo. That's why it won't come up. Porsche Life 111 is where I usually am on Instagram. Late Night Playset is the late night talk show that we do on YouTube. You can find me actually there tomorrow night. We've been going live at 5 since we left Astoria, just kind of hanging with the gang without doing an official show. It's just kind of a live hang, so you can join us there. If you like cars in LA, Good Vibes Breakfast Club, and if you like movies, a Blockbuster Year podcast. I love doing the show with Brandon. Today's the first day we've ever made money, so maybe we'll do more of that in the future.
More Godzilla.
Godzilla!
More questions. Paid super chat questions. I don't
King
know.
of the monetization.
And Jason Music is here only tonight to say that he thinks Bobcat Goldthwait in One Crazy Summer is the greatest Godzilla performance ever.
It's a good one.
I haven't seen that. I just got the tape. It's in. I put it on the shelf in my Blockbuster because I got it in like a random. I bought it because it was in a rental, like a plastic former rental sleeve, and so it's like it's in my Blockbuster. But I was looking at it. I was like, I gotta check this out.
Yeah.
How about you, Brandon? Where do we find you?
Here at a Blockbuster Year. But if you like movie cars and props and Blockbuster Video, check out BC DeLorean on Instagram, where all the movie car and prop stuff is all happening down there.
Wait, are you in your video store right now?
No, this is
Oh
my
my
movie.
God.
This is my movie room. This is
Okay.
I call this is like I got a TV here, and this is my house.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that would be rad
Dude.
to just be
The
podcasting
only
from a
reason I'm
video
not
store.
in there is because the internet is bad out there in the garage.
Okay.
So maybe
I'm
if I
ready
can
to run a
figure out
cable, though. I want
a
to tour
direct
that garage
line.
on live on
Yeah.
the show.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
Kyle Watts,
I'm
I
thinking
will.
about it.
I will hit you up tomorrow live on the show. Yes, and anybody who wants to join, it's not just Astoria people. Anybody who wants to hang out with us, I can always send you a link. You can join. It's fun. No agenda.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for being here with us live. Thank you for watching the replay, listening on the podcast networks that we're on. This was so much fun. I learned so much. I cannot wait to watch Godzilla versus Biollante.
Yes.
It's going to be next up on my Criterion channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you everybody. Good night. We will see you next week. I don't know what movie it is yet. I'm getting back into the scheduling groove, so we're gonna figure it out. Follow the Instagram of Blockbuster Year for the announcement of what movie we'll be doing next week.
I would like to thank Jay and Jacob as well. Jacob, I fucking love you, buddy. Jay, I love you. It was great to meet you. Great to hang out tonight. I had a blast. Thank you so much, Brandon. I love you always.
Yeah.
Love you at home. Love one another.
Yeah, enjoy a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
All right. And thank you for all the super chats. Jay's going to get a really nice pen, and I'm going to get a dollar store pen. So thank you for that. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night.